hours ago, but it's cleared off. It's hot. It's muggy. It's perfect baseball weather. And the Cubs are trying to upset the Atlanta Braves.
And maybe it's a mixed blessing for the Braves to be home. The reason is they've won 20 of their last 22 on the road and find themselves surprisingly 44-24 away from Fulton County Stadium. That's the best record in the major leagues on the road. At home, the Braves are tough, but they're only 10 games over 500. They don't mind going away from home as they've been red hot. But this team has won 5 in a row. They've got the league's best pitching. And there's one of the league's best right-handers, John Smoltz, ready to face the Cubs.
You know, I still can't get over the fact. Dennis Martinez, 38-year-old pitcher, who has a salary of better than $3 million per year, had a chance to join the Atlanta Braves, but demanded $250,000 in order to allow the deal to go through. Here's a guy who's going to pitch now for Montreal the rest of this year before 15 or 14 or 13,000 people who didn't care about being in a pennant race. He's more concerned about his own individual gain. Now, $250,000 doesn't seem like that when you're making $3 million plus a year. So maybe when it comes to greed, there are greedy ball players. I've always resisted that. I've always claimed that the owners force them into greed. But in this particular case, here's a guy who expects the fans to pay because they enjoy to see Major League Baseball played. And he himself, if he doesn't get an extra $250,000 added to his salary of $3 million plus for this year, would rather miss being with a team that may be in the World Series. Boy, oh boy. He's called numero uno in Nicaragua. I think they ought to rephrase it. Numero uno greed in Nicaragua.
Well, another man who was very surprised that Dennis Martinez didn't come here was General Manager John Shearholtz. And I talked to John before the game, and he said that he wouldn't even negotiate with Dennis for next year. He said it wasn't a question of what he was going to get next year or the year after. That wasn't the real thing. What it was with him was he gave Dennis Martinez a chance to pitch on a pennant contender, and he said that there was no way he was going to give him $250,000. He knew that Montreal wasn't going to give him $250,000, and he was very surprised that he turned down the deal.
Yeah, listen to the crowd as the Braves take the field. And already they're tommyhawking. Boy, this is what it's all about. And for a lousy $250,000, a guy insists on staying in Montreal, where nobody will even watch him pitch.
Well, Jim Lefebvre talked to his ball club before the game, and he told his guys, especially the guys who have never been in postseason play, if you want to know what the playoffs and the World Series is like, wait till you watch the Braves take the field and watch what happens in Atlanta tonight. He realized what these fans would mean to this team, and they certainly gave them quite a response after the 3-game sweep of the San Francisco Giants. Now, most of the articles here written about the Braves pretty much painted the Giants as a dead team, and the reality of it is they're still 5 games up in the loss column. I expect when the Giants do come here that they're going to be anything but a dead team. I think that they're going to create a lot of competition for these Braves, and although the Braves have the weapons and although they're healthy and the Giants are not, it's going to be a good series when they come to town. But the Braves, to a man, say that they're not looking ahead at all. They said they realize that they've got about 35 games left. Every game is very important, starting with tonight against the Cubs, and there is no way in the world that they're going to overlook the Cubs tonight.
You know, the Braves have averaged so far this year almost 48,000 paid per game. Their home attendance is 2,860,475 for 60 dates. I think they have 21 more dates at home. They're going to be well over 3 million, probably reach 3.5 million people. Boy, it's a proud ball club. And I think that pride came through in the 3-game sweep of the Giants. They not only beat them, they humiliated them.
When you take a look at Bobby Cox, who's a very placid manager, his moods are right in the middle. He never gets too high, never gets too low, and his ball club reflects that. Talking to the people who were on the plane with the Braves coming home from San Francisco, they said you'd never know they won the most important series of the year. Everything was status quo. The Braves know they have a lot of work to do, and that was just 3 games out of 162. It got them back in the race, but there's still a lot of baseball left to see who determines a division champion.
Smoltz first pitch. Fastball high. Smitty hitting .306. 11 homers, 26 RBI. Fastball is in there.
Man to keep an eye on tonight is Mark Grace, because over the course of his career he has absolutely killed John Smoltz, and it should be interesting to see how Smoltz tries to handle him.
Curveball in there, a beauty. A strike called. 2 strikes and a ball.
Smoltz 10-4 lifetime against the Cubs. The ERA a scant .253. Last year he was 3-1 against them.
A high pop fly on the infield will be easy. Terry Pendleton has it. That brings a roar from the crowd. Philadelphia leads St. Louis by 11 in the Eastern Division. 12.5 ahead of Montreal, 18 ahead of the Cubs, who are 3 games below 500. And here is Sandberg, who against Smoltz during his career has hit 4 homers. Against the pitching of the Braves this year, he's really been red hot, hitting .538 with 7 out of 13. There's a drive way back. It might be out of here. It could be. It is a home run. That's the 5th home run this year during his career that Ryne Sandberg has hit off John Smoltz, and the Cubs are in the lead 1-0. Boy, he drove that ball, and that's the way Sandberg normally hits him. This has been a tough year for Ryno because of the injury. Not only did he miss a month, but actually the first month of the season, he was having spring training. So he really missed better than 2 months.
That's number 17 given up by John Smoltz. Number 9 for Sandberg, his 41st driven in. Montgomery Ward donates $100 to Cubs Care for the blast off the bat of Ryne Sandberg.
Here's Mark Grace. He too has hit Smoltz. He's had 4 home runs during his career. Lifts a high fly ball. Ronnie Gant in left field waiting for him. Let's watch Sandberg's home run again. A low fastball it looked like. So the long ball is put the Cubs in front. And here is Derrick May hitting .303 with 9 homers, 71 RBIs for the year. Against the Braves this year, though, they've held him in check. Only 4 out of 20, which is a .200 batting average. Curveball in there. Had a good swing, fouled it back.
The Braves have 15 complete games as a staff. John Smoltz only has 3. That's in 27 starts. Maddox leads in complete games with 6, and Maddox has thrown 212 innings. He's fanned 155. Smoltz has fanned 163.
Curveball a bit outside. Maddox has had 6 complete games. Doc Gooden with 7 is high. Ground ball, foul. Jose Rio, the Reds, leads in strikeout with 184. Then comes Smoltz, 163. Then Maddox. Fouled it back again. Maddox has pitched the most innings. Harnish and Ramon Martinez. Pete Harnish of Houston. Martinez of the Dodgers each have 3 shutouts. Ground ball sharply hit. McGriff has it. Flips it to Smoltz covering. So 1 run on 1 hit. We go in the bottom of the first. The Cubs lead 1-0.
Come along for adventure in a magic land. Set sail with Sandberg of the 7 Seas. Saturday afternoon at 1 on Channel 9.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud.
In today's uneasy economy, insurance companies face one financial hazard after another. But one has held a steady course. That company is Aflac.
Don't even think about it.
Please. My customers look to me, to True Value, for something they can't get in those big warehouse stores. They know I'll take time to answer their questions, and I've got the right products. Real True Values.
Like beats nails. It creates a tough bond on wood, metal, and more. Buy a 2-pack and get a free tube of household repair adhesive. And lifetime Red Devil siliconized acrylic caulk is guaranteed to last as long as you own your home.
You know, the name says it all. True Value.
Harry Caray back at Fulton County Stadium. The lineup for the Braves as follows. Otis Nixon leads it off. The red-hot Jeff Blauser bats second. Ron Gann third. Fred McGriff in the cleanup spot. Dave Justice hitting next, and follows Terry Pendleton. Damon Berryhill, Mark Lemke, and John Smoltz. And Pepsi presents the defensive alignment. May in left, Sosa in center, Smith in right, Vizcaíno, Sanchez, Sandberg, and Grace. Around the infield, Harkey on the mound, Wilkins behind the plate. And Otis Nixon, who's been hit well against the Cubs all year long, 344 with 11 out of 32.
He's had a couple of good games this year against the Braves. On April 14th, he threw 7 1/3 innings of shutout ball. Then he threw 6 1/3 on August 21st. Got a no decision.
Otis Nixon had an awkward swing and fouled it back.
The Braves have never beaten Mike Harkey. His ERA a scant 2.34 in 5 starts. So despite his ups and downs, he's always thrown well against the Braves, and this will be a great test for him tonight.
Looper in his short right field, far a hit. Nixon leads it off with a looping single to right. Dwight Smith didn't have a very good jump on that one. Had to play it on one hop.
Deion Sanders still has that upper respiratory infection. He's still on the disabled list, and so Otis Nixon playing all the time now, and he just bloops it into right field. And a bad way to start, because Nixon, one of the best base runners in the league, stolen 31 bases, been caught just 8 times, and that's in 100 games.
And here's Jeff Blauser. During his career, he's had 11 home runs, 2 of them this year. He's hit 11 home runs against Cub pitching. One game a year ago, he had 3 homers in one game at Wrigley Field.
I think 10 of those home runs are in Wrigley Field. So he doesn't mind leaving Fulton County Stadium, especially when he's hitting against the Cubs.
And he's hitting for the year against Cub pitching, .432, 16 out of 37. Strike call.
Now the reason why the Cubs got killed by Blauser in Wrigley Field was they kept throwing him inside. They kept trying to throw strikes on the inside part of the plate. The job of Mike Harkey tonight is to keep the ball away and throw a few breaking pitches to Blauser. You don't want to get it inner portion of the plate. You certainly don't want it belt high or above, because that's right into his strength.
Line drive, base hit to right center. Here's a runner on second on his way to third. Holy cow. Here we go again. And listen to these fans.
Mike Harkey gets this fastball up too high, and Jeff Blauser takes advantage of it. Over the head of Ryne Sandberg. If you throw that fastball down at the knees, it's a ground ball at Sandberg. You get it belt high or above, it turns into a line drive. And 2 hitters, 2 hits, and Harkey in immediate trouble here in Atlanta.
There's Ronnie Gant, who's hit a homer this year against Cub pitching, but has been held to only a .194 batting average. There's a tomahawk.
Gant has grounded into 11 double plays this year. Harkey's looking for number 12.
He tried to check his swing. He fouled a pitch back. 1 strike and nothing.
Now in the first game against Atlanta, against San Francisco, the Braves did the same thing. 2 hits, and Ronnie Gant grounded into a double play. Let's see if history can repeat itself this time.
They play Gant towards left, but he can hit the ball out in right also. He has 31 homers. Boy, what a middle of the batting order. Ooh, he missed the curveball. Gant 31 homers, McGriff 30 homers, Justice 32 homers.
The difference between Gant and the other 2 is the fact that you can strike out Ronnie Gant on breaking balls. Keep the ball away, you've got him. He's fanned 96 times this year. Let's see if Harkey goes to another breaking ball here.
Fastball is high. Gant has scored 31 runs in his last 33 games. So he's been getting on. The guys behind him drive him home. Fouled it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at first and third. Again, Wilkins takes a blow off the catcher's mask. Wow. That must be about the 5th time he's been hit on that trusty mask. And thank goodness he can trust it. He fakes the third, whirls the throw to first, no play.
Blauser can run, but he doesn't run often. He's stolen 14 bases. He's been caught just 5 times.
There are a few empty seats high in the gallery that are probably seats that have been sold. People haven't gotten here yet. Line drive, left field, a base hit, and a runner's in. The game is tied. Ron Gant, line 1 just over Sanchez's leaping glove.
Ray Sanchez looked like he might have jumped a little early on this. It looked like he jumped up with his throwing hand and then realized he couldn't get to it, and actually was on the way down. Now watch him. He jumped too early. He threw up his throwing hand, and actually that ball went over his glove as he was on the way down. And it goes as run batted in, number 87. Watch it again. Harkey gets his curveball over the plate. You see Ray there, and he just mistimed his jump.
So runners are at first and second, nobody out. 3 hits in a row, and all were hit soundly. All line drive. Nixon has scored. And here's McGriff. He and David Justice in the last game at San Francisco hit 2 homers back-to-back each time. There's a changeup. 2 balls, no strikes.
The middle of this lineup can absolutely kill you, and of late they're getting off to fast starts. In the last game against San Francisco, they scored 3 in the first, and Maddox took the mound with a 3-run cushion.
There's a drive, way back. It might be out of here. It could be in there. A 3-run homer for McGriff. Holy cow.
McGriff hits number 31. He now has driven home 74 runs and 4 hitters. It's a 4-1 game, and the people here in Atlanta are absolutely going crazy as Freddie McGriff, a late season addition to this ball club, has done it again for the Braves.
Now you wonder if Harvey's going to get anybody out. That's 4 solid hits in a row. The first one is the only one that wasn't really hit hard. Now watch this sky-scraping home run. High and far.
That was a changeup out over the plate, and Freddie McGriff down. Actually up 2-0, just crushes the ball. He wasn't fooled at all as Harvey slowed down his motion to get the changeup over. And Freddie McGriff kept the hands back and just accelerated.
4 men up, 4-run score. A high fly ball. Derrick May coming in. Sanchez going out. They collide. Sanchez makes the count. And Derrick May kind of cradled him so he wouldn't fall down. 1 out.
A little confusion here as Ray Sanchez takes a tomahawk chop to the back of the neck. But he hangs on.
Here's Pendleton, veteran third baseman. He's been struggling all year long, but now that the chips are down, he's been contributing very heavily to their attack. He now is hitting .273, 10 homers, 58 RBIs, and during his career against the Cubs, he's hit 11 homers. One ball, 1 strike. There's Billy Connors. Had a good cut, fouled it off.
The Braves hit 6 home runs the final game against San Francisco in San Francisco. And this was a team that fought to score runs all year long. But it seems that the addition of Fred McGriff has just loosened up the entire lineup. And they have become very much an offensive team since the arrival of McGriff.
There's a line drive. Nice play by Vizcaíno. Terry Pendleton hit the ball hard, but out. Let's pause here for identification.
You're watching WGN-TV Channel 9 Chicago, America's #1 sports station.
Four to 1 in favor of the Braves. And here's Damon Berryhill, another ex-Cub. He and Greg Maddux were a battery for the Cubs. Now they're both with Atlanta. A ball and a strike. 2 out, 4 in. McGriff's 3-run homer. The big blow. Inside. 2 balls and a strike. 2 out.
There's a look at Otis Nixon and Freddie McGriff.
That evens it up 2-2.
Surprisingly this year, Damon Berryhill, who couldn't hit right-handed at all when he was with the Cubs, is hitting .293. Left-handed, The majority of his power, 5 to 6 home runs, have come as a left-hand hitter.
Struck him out. Fastball over the inside corner, but 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 1, the Braves lead 4-1.
Don't sleep. Peep the Edge. The Apollo Comedy Hour. Saturday night at 12:30 on WGN Channel 9.
To take care of these baby blues, my doctor says to replace my contacts regularly. Now I use Lens Express, and I can get a new pair of lenses the very next day. It's fast, easy, and costs a lot less.
Save up to 50% on all name brands. Your brand, your prescription at the lowest price guaranteed.
Trust me, use Lens Express and make your life easier.
Call for a free Lens Express catalog.
Save like never before on Brunswick's Supra Double Ball Bag with zippers, deep storage pockets, and more, all for an incredibly low $9.96.
And that's just part of the Sport Mart advantage.
Hey, nothing like a cold Diet Pepsi on a hot day, huh?
Well, hot is a relative term. You see, given temperatures rise regardless of mass. Yet, Galileo observed rising temperatures will decrease with the exposure of the endothermic source. True, transference will persist until this one irresistible calorie interacts, thus altering the system.
Yeah, take care. See you later.
Maybe we just should have said, uh-huh.
You got the right one, baby.
What would you do if you won $4 million in Lotto?
I wouldn't have any more trouble if I had $4 million.
I'd buy a house, I'd buy a yacht. I'd just buy all the things I've been dreaming about for a long time.
Anything my wife wanted.
What if you won $6 million?
Well, I'd have 6 kids and be very happy.
Color me gone, I'd travel around the world.
To be able to have all the things that I've always wanted.
In your dreams, whatever they be.
I'd go to Europe and buy a restaurant.
Dream a little dream with me.
Harry Caray back at Fulton County Stadium, where the Braves have jumped on the Cubs for a 4-1 lead. Sandberg hit his 9th homer of the year for the Cub run. McGriff hit his with 2 on. His 31st of the year and his 13th with Atlanta. The other 18 were with San Diego.
Sosa's 0 for 14 lifetime against John Smoltz, and so it really doesn't matter what Smoltz throws him to this point. He doesn't make much contact, so this is a good challenge for Sammy tonight. Smoltz has a great slider, and he kept it low and away from Sosa in Wrigley Field, and he just handcuffed him.
Bouncing ball. Louser's got it. Throwing it first to the out. 1 away. And that will bring up Rick Wilkins, whose family is here to see him play from Jacksonville, Florida. I want to say hello to a friendly bartender here in Atlanta by the name of Manny Appanay, a great Cub fan here in Atlanta. 1 out, nobody on. You don't find many of those here anymore. There's a pitch foul back.
Cub fans, plenty of good seats are available for many of the remaining games this season. Don't spend the end of your summer sitting at home when you can be rocking and rolling at Wrigley. For tickets, call 312-831-CUBS or stop by the Wrigley Field box office.
John O'Connor's here. Used to be the chief Andy Frayne usher at Wrigley Field. Now lives in Key West, Florida. And is up here to see the Cubs face the Braves. Boy, Smoltz throws the ball hard.
Since the All-Star break in 1991, John Smoltz has worked with a sports psychologist, and now that same psychologist works with 14 of the Braves. Whatever he's doing here, he must be doing right, because John Smoltz is a different pitcher these days, and the Braves are doing quite a job this year. 30 games over 500.
You know, it isn't so silly. It isn't so silly. They've had a psychiatrist work with ball clubs before.
And there is a gentleman right there in the red shirt.
And White here.
Who started Harry in 1976 with Minnesota. That was his first job.
Here's a pitch, swung and miss.
And if you know how you get a job in the major leagues, he had Bob Gebhardt. He was a doctor. Bob Gebhardt was getting his master's, and he had Gebhardt as a student.
And so, if Gebhardt promised to give him a job in baseball, he gave him a passing grade, right?
Well, apparently he didn't know that Gebhardt was going to be a member of the Minnesota front office, but he was, and he hired him. And now he's here with the Braves full time.
Ball 4, and Wilkins is on. I don't know. We have more psychiatrists, more physical culturists, more everything except pitchers. I wish you'd come up with some pitchers now and then.
The Cubs could use a few of those. As could most of baseball, Harry. There is a scarcity now with expansion of real good quality major league arms. So mom and dad, if you're sitting at home and your son has a good arm, take the golf club or tennis racket out of his hand and teach him how to pitch.
But a lot of them can pitch well until they're 11 or 12 years old. How about that Burroughs kid on the Little League team?
Sean Burroughs.
Yeah.
Pitched his second no-hitter in the Little League World Series. Hit a couple of home runs. Harry, he's 5'5", weighs 171 pounds, and he's 12 years old. The son of Jeff Burroughs, who was an MVP in the major leagues in 1974. So the apple didn't fall far from the tree. And if it did, the little fella ate it.
Let me tell you, though, Jeff Burroughs hit right-handed and threw right-handed. This kid throws left-handed and hits left-handed. Or right-handed and hits left-handed.
And boy, does he hit. He hit a couple of balls in that World Series that just shot out of that little ballpark.
1 on, 1 out. Sanchez, a batter. High pop fly. Everybody chasing it. Everybody chasing it. It drops foul. And so Sanchez, with a count of 2-1, returns to the plate.
I talked to Mark Lemke about this series, and he said that he had the same opinion of this series as did all of the Braves. He said everybody wants to bring us a little bit further ahead in the season than we really are. He said our main goal and our only goal is to beat the Cubs tonight. Then when we get to tomorrow's game, our goal will be to beat the Cubs tomorrow. He said that's the only way that you can approach this game of baseball. You can't look down the road against everyone. He says because if we lose tonight and the Giants win, we lose a game, and we can't afford that.
Giants are leading 2-0 in Florida. There's a bouncing foul in the second. I see the Marlins attendance finally sloughed off to 30,000 last night, but I think they had a lot of rain.
Went a little below that the other night, Harry, but as you know, August at night in Fort Lauderdale is no bargain.
Here's a pitch. He struck him out on the curveball. First strikeout of the night for John Smoltz. And here's Vizcaíno.
Sanchez does not strike out often. That was only the 21st time he's fanned, and he's been to bat 317 at bats. When you throw a good hard breaking ball like this, however, that's going to get a few right-handers, and it got Ray Sanchez.
There's Jose Vizcaíno playing third tonight, hitting .283. 2 homers, 40 RBI. Curve in there, a strike call. Boy, he's got a dandy. Overhanded curveball. Smoltz, just 26. Same age as Harvey. Fastball inside. A ball and a strike.
John Smoltz came out of the Detroit Tigers organization. A result of a trade, a late season deal that sent Doyle Alexander to the Tigers in the pennant push. They traded a young pitcher named John Smoltz here. And it was a question of trying to get a pennant and trading away a little bit of the future as you look at John Smoltz, 20 behind Jose Rio in National League strikeouts.
There's a curveball in there. And the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at first. John Schuerholz did a nifty job as the general manager of the Braves in that Martinez case. There's a bouncing ball. That'll be easy over to first in time to retire the side. Lemke threw him out. No runs, no hit. 1 left. We go in the bottom of the second. 4-1 Atlanta.
Don't sleep. Peep the edge. Stand up that's out front. Music that's fresh and chilling. Comedy that's completely outrageous. The Apollo Comedy Hour. Check it out! Saturday night at 12:30 on WGN Channel 9.
Here's the real beauty of Rust-Oleum protective coatings. A tough barrier against the elements. Rust-Oleum, the name that means protection.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your
Flooding in the Midwest has affected millions and left thousands homeless. Now you can help the victims of this horrible disaster by donating to the Neighbors in Need Fund. 100% of all donations will go to Midwest flood relief. The Robert R. McCormick Tribune Foundation will match all contributions dollar for dollar up to $1 million. Please make checks payable to Neighbors in Need Fund and send them to P.O. Box 5120, Chicago, Illinois 60680. It's your chance to help today.
Harry Caray back at Fulton County Stadium. There's John Schuerholz.
Stan Kasdan, the president of the team, sitting to his left. And they've put together quite a ball club here in Atlanta.
You know, Schuerholz claimed Martinez. If he got him, he would run him the rest of the year. He really wouldn't hardly pay him anything at all because Martinez has a big $3 million a year contract, which is good for the rest of the season. He didn't offer him any money, as Steve mentioned, and the extra money wasn't going to, and he knew the Montreal wouldn't offer him anything either. And he also knew that if he claimed him and he decided not to play, he couldn't go to the Giants or to Toronto or to the Phillies or anybody else who maybe had claimed him. And so he made sure if he couldn't have Martinez, nobody else could get him either.
Well, the claim system, Harry, works in reverse order. That means that the Braves out of Philadelphia and the Giants had the worst record. So they had the first claim. Nobody claimed him until he came to the Braves. They claimed him, and Philadelphia claimed him, and then the Giants claimed him. But of course, the Atlanta claim was first, took precedent.
There's a base hit for center field. Lemke singles the center. You know, it is true that Mike Harkey pitches brilliantly at times. But boy, most of the time they just hit him hard.
Well, they do it, Harry, because Mike Harkey leaves a lot of balls out over the plate. And quite frankly, his velocity is not near what it was before the arm surgery. He's throwing many fastballs now around 85, 86 miles an hour. And that's not fast enough to get by hitters if you throw good strikes down the middle.
Here is Smoltz trying to bunt. He does bunt to throw the first sacrifice from Grace to Sandberg. He popped the button. I thought for a moment it could be caught in the air, but it wasn't.
John Smoltz laying one down, and Mark Grace couldn't get to it fast enough. That goes as sacrifice number 8 for him. It goes 3-4, and Lemke moves to second.
So they have another man in scoring position, and here is Otis Nixon, who started the ball game for the Braves with a single to right. Went to third when Blouser singled right center. There's a big, great play by Sandberg. What a remarkable play. That ball was really hit hard. It looked like a base hit to right, and Sandberg, going to his left, came up with the ball and threw him out.
This is a very fast infield here in Atlanta, and there's a curveball out over the plate, and Ryne Sandberg with a couple of quick steps to his left. And watch it again. Fine effort right there. And Ryne Sandberg, who homered for the first time since August 1st, turns in a sparkling defensive effort.
Here's Blouser. There's a fly ball going to be caught in deep center. Sosa's there to retire the side. We sure don't get Blouser out easily, do we? No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. At the end of 2, 4-1 in favor of Atlanta.
A participating advertiser in Cubs baseball is Montgomery Ward, where things are really changing.
What's the difference between men and women? It's all in the genes. Next question.
You can always spot a neighborhood with pride. Maybe it's a little cleaner, a little nicer place to be. All because somebody cared enough to make it that way. Like your neighborhood 76 station. Here, every gasoline is specially formulated to keep your engine clean and running smooth. We're rather proud of that. 76. Go with the spirit.
One day my dad took me to the Cubs game. I had a hot dog, french fries, peanuts. And Ryne Sandberg hit a home run. He runs all across the bases. Ryne Sandberg could hit 25 home runs. And he's so cool.
Introducing Rooms and More, the smart new way to buy furniture. Quality brands, the latest styles, the hottest new colors and fabrics. Over 40 custom designed room groupings. Buy by the piece, by the group, or by the room, and save 20 to 50%. Rooms and More, now at Montgomery Ward.
Come along for adventure in a magic land. Set sail with Sandberg of the 7 Seas. Saturday afternoon at 1 on Channel 9.
Caray back in Atlanta. There's a Cub fan here among all those Tommy Hawks. Harkey leading it off. Well, the Aflac trivia question coming up in a moment. High pop fly. Going out, Blouser makes the catch. All right. Which Braves pitcher allowed the most homers to the Cubs in one season? I am going to say Phil Niekro.
Boy. Well, this is tough, Harry. This is very tough today. I'll say Don Notabart.
I'm sure you're right on that one.
I don't think so. Arnie's too happy.
It's a bouncing ball. Come on, run. Dwight Smith grounded out. Has he got a bad leg or something?
No, he's got 2 good ones as far as I know. That's just the way he runs. And John Smoltz, after giving up the home run to Sandberg, is back to his usual very tough self.
2 out. We're in the top of the 3rd. And the Braves are leading 4-1. Curveball outside. That seems to be John Smoltz. Bread and butter pitch tonight is curveball. Now there's the fastball. That ain't too bad either.
He's got a distinct curveball, slider, and a fastball. Very rarely changes up. Well, he has 3 overpowering pitches.
High fly ball going to be caught in center field. Otis Nixon to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. They go in the bottom of the third. 4-1 Braves.
Designing women on computers.
I don't understand that computer virus stuff. I mean, does that mean that if your computer gets sick, your other office equipment can catch it?
Designing women. Weekdays at 2 on Channel 9.
So I'm barbecuing for 30. I got the best steaks, I got the cheap charcoal, and I got burned.
Fire's out.
Don't get burned by cheap charcoal. Buy the best.
Kingsford, the surefire.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Desonex, do not stall. Desonex intercepts athlete's foot before it turns ugly, killing those grungy fungi before they get cracking and burning. There's a can at the store with your salvation in it. Come get it, or else don't blame Desonex. And for jock itch, Crew-X is the #1 cure. Crew-X kills jock itch fungus.
This is your world, genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Alan Alda and Ann Margaret get a brand new lease on life and a whole new set of problems. Hey! In a new life.
Wednesday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Harry Caray with Steve Stone and Thom Brennaman as we go into the bottom of the third. Ron Gann, who drove in the first run of the ball game after Nixon and Blauser had opened with base hits. Gann drove in Nixon, and then Blauser and Gann scored on Fred McGriff's 3-run homer.
White Sox won the first game of their doubleheader. Tim Belcher winning another one. He's now 3-2. Bo Jackson hit a home run along with Robin Ventura.
Bottom of the third. 4-1. Fastball over the outside corner. Gann takes it. He thought it was wide. Gann, a nice-looking young man. Small, 5'9". Bill Powerfully. There's a high pop foul. Mark Grace is there. Makes the catch. Run away. Well, here's the answer to the Affleck question. Warren Spahn, I'll bet you. I bet you, yeah.
Cub fans, make your plans now to attend the 1994 Chicago Cubs Convention. February 11th through the 13th, sponsored by Pepsi-Cola at Chicago Hilton and Towers. You'll enjoy autograph and photo sessions with Cub players and coaches, both past and present. Room reservations can be made now by calling Chicago Hilton and Towers at 312-922-4400. For more information, call 312-404-CUBS.
Freddie McGriff, who hit the 3-run homer in the first, his 13th of the year since he joined the Braves. Let's see. McGriff has hit 13 homers in 35 ball games for the Braves. With the low.
6 years in a row, Freddie McGriff has hit 30 home runs or more. And he said this is his first pennant race since back when he was with Toronto, and he's enjoying every game of it.
One out, nobody on. Line drive, right field, and it's caught by Dwight Smith. That ball was hit hard. Two gone. Here's Justice. McGriff now is one of 12 players in baseball history to go 6 or more straight years with 30 or more home runs. Might be interesting, Arnie, to is pan at all the names of former Brave stars. Warren Spahn, 21. Eddie Matthews, number 41. Hank Aaron, number 44. Phil Necro, number 35. There's a drive. Way back. It might be. It could be. And it is. David Justice just hits his 33rd. Holy cow, what power.
That's his first ever off Mike Harkey, his 88th driven in. And putting these guys back to back in the lineup really gives you some thunder. David Justice will make a bona fide run at the MVP, especially if the Braves do catch San Francisco and win the division. And he hits a line drive on a low fastball out over the plate and drives it against the scoreboard.
His 33rd of the year. 33 homers, 88 RBI. Here's Pendleton. Fouls it off.
And the Cubs saw this team at the beginning of the season. They were a team with very good pitching, and nobody was hitting the baseball. Now they've seen him in 2 series with the addition of Fred McGriff, and it's made a big difference because now this is a potent offensive club.
Fouled it out of play. He was jammed with that one. 5-1. There's David Justice. He's married to a beautiful movie star.
Halle, the ex-Halle Berry.
Pitch a little low. Terry Pendleton. Ball short center. Sanchez goes out, calls for, makes the catch to retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit. Nobody left. Tommy will be coming along in a moment. Harry Caray from Fulton County Stadium, where at the end of 3 innings, the Braves lead 5-1.
Don't sleep. Peep the Edge. The Apollo Comedy Hour.
Saturday night at 12:30 on WGN Channel 9.
He's an American classic, a comedy legend, the famous San Diego Chicken. The funniest, craziest, and one of the most beloved comics ever. And now for the first time on video, it's the Chicken's greatest bits. If you love to laugh, here's the tape you gotta have. It's one hilarious routine after another, caught in the act of his outrageous live performances. More than 55 million people have seen the Chicken in person in all 50 states and around the world. But the Chicken's home video is not in stores. This is a limited time television offer, the comedy tape of the year. Yes, everybody loves the Chicken. Well, almost everybody. Here's how to order now.
To order your copy of the Chicken's Greatest Bits video, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-872-4200 or send $19.95 plus $4.50 shipping to the Chicken Video. P.O. Box 7008, Department 7, Tarzana, California, 91356. Order now.
Can't believe he broke it at the company picnic.
Incredible. Our employee health plan covers him, right?
Not deductibles or co-payments.
So he has to lay out his own money.
Gaps in your health plan can be costly. Aflac can help. Aflac is a leader in supplemental insurance with 35 years of dependable service. Today, employees of over 80,000 companies count on Aflac for the peace of mind to get on with life.
Any ideas?
Yeah, Aflac.
Aflac, insuring over 35 million people worldwide.
Come along for adventure in a magic land. Set sail with Sandberg of the Seven Seas. Saturday afternoon at 1 on Channel 9.
Braves leading 5-1 as we begin the fourth inning. Grace a line drive into deep center field. Otis Nixon at the wall, leaps, and it's gone. Grace on the first pitch in the fourth inning hammers a home run to make it a 5-2 ball game. And hi again, everybody, along with our producer-director, Arnie Harris and Steve Stone. I'm Thom Brennaman at Fulton County Stadium. And clearly the balls are flying out of here tonight. Sandberg and Grace for the Cubs. McGriff and Justice for Atlanta.
The big difference is Fred McGriff hit a 3-run homer. The Cubs have hit 2 solo shots. And the 2 guys that have really pounded John Smoltz in the past, Sandberg and Grace, have done it again here tonight.
Grace has always blistered this outstanding Atlanta right-hander. Grace trying to fire up his troops back in the dugout. And this Atlanta team playing oh so well right now. They've drawn to within 4.5 games of the division leading Giants. As Derrick May looks at a ball, can they catch the Giants? Will they catch the Giants?
Well, I think they can catch the Giants, and a lot's going to be decided when the Giants come to town. I'm looking for the Giants to have a big series against Florida, but they come here after that.
Ball will sneak through into center field, so Derrick May with a single after the home run to straightaway center by Grace. And the Cubs are trying to come back here in the fourth inning against a very fine Atlanta right-hander, John Smoltz.
It's 4-0-2 to straightaway center field, and that's where Mark Grace went with that low line drive that just barely got out of the ballpark. Otis Nixon thought he had a shot at it till the last minute. Mark Grace hitting his 11th, his 73rd driven in as Nixon goes back, and this ball just sneaks over the wall. There's a look at Mark Grace, who has found what everybody's known all along, Tommy. This is a very lively ballpark.
So now it'll be Sammy Sosa, who's never had a hit in his career against John Smoltz. He's nothing out of 15. He bounced to short his first time up tonight. Well, everybody, including the Atlanta players, coaching staff, the manager Bobby Cox, and about 50,000 fans watching that scoreboard every 15 or 20 seconds as they flash up the Giants score. Good pickup, or knockdown anyway, by Berryhill. It goes to 1-1. And the Giants behind a sac fly by Barry Bonds, a run scoring double by Todd Benzinger, own a 2-0 lead over the Marlins.
This is almost wild pitch number 7 for John Smoltz as Berryhill uses the glove and not the body to keep the ball in front of him, and Derrick May cannot advance.
Sammy going after that fork ball of John Smoltz, and it goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I know, Tommy, both of us were wondering why Sammy Sosa was hitting behind Derrick May in the number 5 spot, and Rick Wilkins was in the number 6 spot against a pitcher that he's never had any luck against. Just seems like, at least for one night only, he could have put Wilkins into a more vital RBI spot.
I hear you. And some would say, well, you have 3 left-handed hitters batting in a row. As Sosa strikes out swinging. Second strikeout of the game for John Smoltz, 1 away here in the Cub fourth, but like you brought up earlier, Sparky Anderson didn't worry much about hitting right-handed batters. Tony Perez, Johnny Bench, and George Foster back to back to back.
When you start a ball game, you think about how many runs you can score against the starting pitcher and what you're going to do against that guy. If you're talking about long relief, if you think you can knock out John Smoltz, it really doesn't matter much who comes in the ball game. And they're very happy here in Atlanta. They flash up a big 3 spot for the Florida Marlins. And the fans here who noticed on the scoreboard, and as you mentioned, Tommy, all of them looking at that board, let out a roar when the 3 went up.
May at first, 1 man out. Wilkins smokes one into right field, a hit. Derrick May will advance on to second base. So the left-handed batters have done the damage here in the inning. Grace a home run, May a single after Sosa strikes out. Wilkins delivers a base hit in the right. So now to be Ray Sanchez. He struck out against John Smoltz back in the second inning. Cubs are down 5-2. 2 on and 1 man out. Ball 1 up to Sanchez.
Terry Pendleton is playing well off the line at third. Jeff Blauser is playing up the middle. They don't think Ray Sanchez is going to be able to pull John Smoltz. The outfield is playing a couple steps into right center with Otis Nixon shifted over that way.
1-0 to Sanchez and a bouncing ball. This could be 2. Blauser, they barely get 1 at second base. Wilkins going in hard. It was a clean slide, but it looked like Blauser got handcuffed by that ball waiting for the extra bounce.
Jeff Blauser was really in between here. And he did get handcuffed, Tommy, and Lemke almost has some difficulty. And about the clean slide, Tom, the first part of it's clean. The second part not so clean. I hate the roll because it's on the roll that the infielders get hurt. And in years past, if you got a guy rolling like that, the next time up the pitcher let him know about it. Fortunately, Lemke really didn't get all that taken out, just enough so you couldn't complete the double play, which you weren't going to complete anyway after Blauser bobbled the ball.
Runners on the corners, 2 men out for Vizcaino, and he fouls it back. Yeah, that's where you'll see the infielder plant that front left leg. As Bosky begins to get loose, the guy comes rolling into it. A hyperextended knee at the worst.
Well, you remember a real good second baseman for Cincinnati when you were there, Ron Oster. He got rolled at second base, and his career was never the same. And if you do plant the front foot, you're going to wind up with knee surgery.
1-1 to Vizcaino with Derrick May at third base, and over at first it's Ray Sanchez. 2 down in the inning, and the Cubs are trailing by 3.
It's really a lesson to all you youngsters out there. If you play the pivot, if you're at shortstop or second, you got to make sure that you're up in the air with both feet if there is any contact at second base.
Boy, that's a nasty pitch right there by John Smoltz. I'm sure there isn't a hitter around the league who would get that one. And surprisingly, Ken Merker and Steve Bedrosian already up getting loose for the Braves.
Well, every game now for the Braves, Tommy, is the World Series. I mean, they're at the point, they're 5 games back in the loss column. They've got 1 more game to play than San Francisco, and the advantage they have is San Francisco plays 7 more away games than Atlanta.
This will drop into left field for a hit and an RBI. Derrick May in to score, so the Cubs pecking back into this one. They've scored 2 here in the 4th inning to make it a 5-3 ball game.
Well, John Smoltz is not immune to making a bad pitch. You look at the location of that one. It was a high fastball up in the eyes of Vizcaino. And you throw high fastballs, and you're going to give up line drives. And Jose drives in his 41st of the year.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter already here early in the game for Mike Harkey. He was called back. And they're going to bring on Kevin Roberson as a pinch hitter for the Cub pitcher, who lasts all of 3 innings. Allows 6 hits and 5 earned runs.
Well, I applaud the move by Jim Lefevre going to the bullpen this early, because against the contenders, Tommy, you have to play like you're in the World Series. And Jim Lefevre doesn't want to let this one get out of hand. Quite obviously, Mike Harkey didn't have very much tonight, and so Kevin Roberson comes on now with a chance to do a little more damage. That'll bring Sean Bosky into the game when the Braves come to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning.
So 2 aboard, 2 men out, and Roberson takes a fast strike from John Smoltz. Roberson started the game against Smoltz and the Braves last Sunday night at Wrigley Field, and he went 1 for 3 at a single his first time up. Smoltz jumping in front at 0-2. Two runs, 4 hits thus far here in the Cub fourth inning, silencing the near 50,000 fans in attendance. He thought about it but held back a ball and 2 strikes.
Strangely, Kevin Roberson, who is a pull hitter, especially from the left side, is being played the other way by the Braves. Otis Nixon is around in the left center field. And you know, on a breaking ball, Roberson's got a good shot of plugging the gap in right center.
Hit hard into center field. Otis Nixon on the run at the track, and he got it. Play by Nixon, and that brings them to their feet here in Atlanta. Cubs get a pair of runs, 4 hits in the inning. It could have been more than that had it not been for the spectacular running grab by Nixon. It's a 5-3 game.
You want it. You need it. PFW. The stats, the games, the highlights. PFW. The insights, the opinions, the predictions. PFW. Dan Roan and Hub Arkish tell you what you need to know so you can tackle Sunday with a vengeance. Pro Football Weekly. Starts Saturday, September 4th at 9 a.m. on Channel 9.
Did you like Ray Stevens' last video?
Yeah, I did.
Well, here he comes again.
That burns
with a brand new video. Ray Stevens Live. 11 great songs, including Guitar Zan, Ahab the Arab, Shriners Convention. I saw Elvis in a UFO.
Saw Elvis in a UFO.
Misty.
Look at me.
That musical funny man is loose again. This time live on stage for almost 1 full hour of new zany family entertainment. Here's how to order.
For rush delivery, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-637-1122 or send $19.98 plus $4.50 shipping to Ray Stevens Live, P.O. Box 7008, Department 7, Tarzana, California. Or call now 1-800-637-1122.
Hey, folks all over America trust their homes to Ace Paint. Here's why.
We make our own.
It's premium quality.
Your satisfaction's guaranteed.
Now get Ace 7-Star, our best flat latex house paint for only $11.99 a gallon.
Hey, Ace is America's place for quality paint.
Kevin Roberson nearly tied this game with a shot into deep center field, but how about this catch from Nixon?
Outstanding effort by Otis Nixon. And Tommy, we talked about Nixon playing out of position over in left center field. It gave him a long run. He's got great speed, and he finally runs this one down. And the Braves are fortunate. I don't think they will play Kevin Roberson as an off-field hitter any longer. And there's Otis Nixon, a man who runs as well as anybody in this league. And he just saved John Smoltz a lot of problems with that catch. So Sean Basquiat.
Yep, Sean Bosky taking over for Mike Harkey. Give you his numbers here in just a minute. There's strike one swinging to Damon Berryhill.
Bosky at 3-3, the ERA 3.42, on for the 27th time. Pitched 47 in the third inning. He gave up 4 home runs, walked 17, fanned 24.
Berryhill fouled it off, may have broken his bat. He did. He'll have to get a new one. Berryhill, his first time up, struck out.
For the remainder of this year, you're going to see Damon Berryhill as primarily the everyday catcher of this team. However, next year you will see Javier Lopez just about every day. Now, they might ease Lopez in against the left-hand pitchers and a few assorted right-handers the first part of the year, but it won't take too long before Lopez is the everyday catcher for the Braves.
We saw Lopez at Wrigley Field last week. Bosky remembers him well. Lopez hit his first major league home run against him. That pitch was about shin high. Remember that? And he just stroked it to the bleachers in left field with a man aboard.
That was the day he had 3 hits, including that home run. He took it right off the ground and hit a rocket out of the ballpark.
He's going to be something, that guy. 1-2 to Berryhill. Bosky going to work. And it's on the ground. Sandberg can't get it.
Tommy, I talked about it earlier, but when we saw the Braves this year early, they were a team that had great pitching, but every game was a 2-1, 3-2 ball game. And now with the addition of Fred McGriff, all of a sudden this has become one of the most potent offensive teams in the league. Now they're still 11th average-wise, but that's of course the accumulation of an entire season. But right now this lineup is terrible to face if you're a right-hand pitcher.
Oh. Well, they moved up to 5th in the league now in runs scored.
And that's not the last stop.
No, it's not.
They're going to be probably 3rd before the year's out.
Lemke singled into center field back in the 2nd inning, was stranded at 3rd base.
I'm wondering if Lemke is still feeling the effects of that Rick Wilkins slide. It looks like he's got a little bit of a sore left knee.
It's on the ground, should be 2. Sandberg to Sanchez, and it is a 4-6-3 double play, and Lemke is kind of hobbling back into the Atlanta dugout.
Sean Bosky throws a changeup. It's a very good pitch, and Mark Lemke grounds into a double play, his 15th this year, and Caray happily donates $100 to Cubs Care.
So here's Smoltz. He laid down a sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd inning. He'll swing away this time, and he's down a strike. Braves in front 5-3. Cubs scored on Sandberg's homer in the 1st. Single by Gant. 3-run home run by McGriff made it 4-1 at the end of 1. Justice a solo home run in the 3rd. And then Grace a home run, and RBI by Vizcaino, a pair in the 4th, and that's where we stand here in the bottom of the 5th. Two and 2 to Smoltz. White Sox won their first game of a doubleheader, beating Minnesota 7-3. Tim Belcher picking up the win in that game. Smoltz in the right field a hit. Boy, oh boy. 8 hits in the game now for Atlanta.
Atlanta Braves pitchers are pretty good hitters. John Smoltz up to 175. And now's when you have to watch the bunt from Otis Nixon. Got a base hit the first time up. Was robbed of a base hit by Ryne Sandberg the next time up. And his job right here is plain and simple. Keep this inning alive for Jeff Blauser. Nixon's not going to hit a home run. He just wants to get on base any way he can. And Mark Grace can't play in shallow because he has to hold Smoltz at first.
Otis Nixon has singled, scored a run, and bounced out on an outstanding play made by Sandberg back in the 2nd inning. He's down a strike. Giants are still trailing in the bottom of the 4th inning at Joe Robbie Stadium. It's 3-2 Marlins. Well, they did show the bunt that time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Otis with great speed has stolen 30 or more bases 6 straight years. And he's getting a lot more playing time now with Deion Sanders on the disabled list. But Sanders will be back. They say he's feeling better with every passing day. And it's not too long before they'll get him back.
2-1 to Otis Nixon. But how in the world do you take this guy out of the lineup the way he's swinging the bat, and obviously the way he's played center field with that catch here tonight?
It's real easy. You take him out and right in Sanders. Because if he's healthy, he's going to play.
But when a guy's in a groove, and Nixon certainly is in that. He had 8 hits in the series last weekend at Wrigley Field.
I agree with you. His last 45 at bats, he's hitting .395. But they still feel that their man to help them win is Deion. One of the reasons, Tommy, is that Deion gives them a lot of power at the top. Obviously, he still have the great speed, although Otis is a better center fielder right now than Deion Sanders.
2-2 to Nixon, and he strikes out swinging to end the inning. 2 hits. One left. We've played 4. The Braves are in front by 2.
A participating advertiser in Cubs baseball is Buick and your local Buick dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
Come along for adventure in a magic land. Set sail with Sandberg of the 7 Seas. Saturday afternoon at 1 on Channel 9.
The airline that gives Chicago nonstops to Tokyo has added nonstops to Seoul without missing a beat. United, the only U.S. airline with 747-400 nonstops to Seoul. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
This Nike commercial is boring.
It's just Bo in the gym.
I can do that. Where are the dancing girls?
Where's the singing?
I missed the montage style of editing.
It's just Bo in the gym.
Only a Nike commercial in a barbershop would be more boring.
Even Nike's not that dumb.
My customers look to me, to True Value, for something they can't get in those big warehouse stores. They know I'll take time to answer their questions, and I've got the right products. Real True Values.
Like Kills Total One, the interior-exterior primer. It's water-based, easy to clean up, at just $18.99 a gallon. And GE Silicone 2 window and door sealant. It's super durable, and the 10.1-ounce cartridge is just $3.99.
You know, the name says it all. True Value.
Bobby Cox and the Braves are coming out of perhaps the biggest series of the year for them. And Bobby, you've got the Cubs now. The Giants are coming right after. Is there any chance of your ball club letting down tonight?
No way, Steve. We know that each and every game is very important to us, and we're still 4.5 out, and that is a number of games with only 34 left, but it's still plenty of time to overtake them. But if we don't concentrate on a nightly basis, it's not going to make any difference if we knock the Giants off the next time we see them or not, because we have to win, and we know that, and no letdowns.
Is Fred McGriff the final ingredient as far as the pieces of the puzzle to win a division championship?
No doubt about it. He's changed our complete offense dramatically, really. The day that an impact hitter shows up like Fred McGriff, it took the stress off of the other hitters, the pressure on them, and they quit trying to win games on one swing by themselves, and they became a very potent offense with him.
McGriff has already played long ball tonight. A 3-run shot, his 31st of the season in the first inning to give Atlanta then a 4-1 lead. They're in front 5-3 as Nixon goes into right center to corral that shot off the bat of Dwight Smith.
Well, John Smoltz doesn't have his real good stuff tonight. Let's see if the Cubs can take advantage of that before Bobby Cox decides to go to the bullpen. Cox is known as a very patient manager more times than not. And who wouldn't be with the starting rotation that he has?
Now, you don't have to have a whole lot of that. You go out and watch him pitch 7, 8, 9 innings every night. And they are just dominating people, this Braves staff. They have a .259 ERA over their last 16 games, in which they have won 14 of those. Sandberg has homered his first since August the 1st. It came in the opening inning, and then he flied to short center, ending the third.
Remember that old commercial, the loneliest man around was the Maytag repairman? He's the second loneliest man around. Loneliest man around who's ever throwing long relief for the Braves. They never get in the ball game.
Never. Sandberg went too far. He's down at 1-2.
Bullpen up and going one more time. But the Cubs would really have to get something going in this inning for Bobby Cox to take out John Smoltz and stop him from qualifying for a win in this game.
1-2 to Sandberg, and he chops it down the third baseline and bobbled by Pendleton. That'll be an error on the Atlanta third baseman, I'm sure. He fielded it cleanly, but then when he went to make the exchange, a ball came loose.
It's going to go as the 16th error of the year on Terry Pendleton. If it's not, there's something wrong, because Pendleton would have thrown him out easily here. All he has to do is get the ball across, and it just drops out of his glove. So the Cubs get a life, and now their best hitter against John Smoltz coming up.
Grace fly to short left in the first inning. Homer to straightaway center, his 11th of the season, leading off the last inning. And it's on the ground. This is trouble. They get 1 and 2, and that ends the inning. 1 error, nobody left. We're in the middle of the 5th at Atlanta-Fulton County Stadium. The two-time defending National League champs lead by a pair.
The National Institute on Aging talks with George Burns and Bobby Vinton about growing older.
I've learned that you can't help getting older, but you don't have to get old.
Do you think you're slowing up?
No, I'm not getting any faster, but I'm sitting down, I'm fine.
For free tips on healthy aging, call 1-800-222-2225.
We thought we'd been everywhere, seen everything. We were wrong.
We're back to the bone. We're back to the bone.
These guys were weird, and we liked it. Later, they took us to the Tower of Bud. Brother, tomorrow we ride again.
He packs heavy. She packs light. She wears silk. He wears wool. He's comfortable at 68 degrees. She prefers 72. Good thing they own a Buick Park Avenue with available dual-zone climate control. 72 for her, 68 for him. Too bad everything isn't as accommodating as Park Avenue. From Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
Around here, folks believe in making things last. Relationships, neighborhoods, and the family automobile. And who wouldn't want to see that 100,000-mile mark? So it's no wonder so many rely on their neighborhood 76 station. Here you'll find quality gasolines and services to help keep your car humming along. We can't promise you'll see that 100,000-mile mark, but we're glad to help you try. 76. Go with the spirit.
Visiting with Atlanta Braves shortstop Jeff Blauser. And Jeff, really your story has been almost an amazing one. A year ago at this time, I'm not even sure you yourself thought you'd be with this ball club. Then you got hot the second part of the season. What was that like for you going through that and then coming into spring training this year?
Well, first of all, that talk started last year with the new expansion teams, and reporters always wanted to come by and see what I felt about my status. And it was especially tough because I looked at this club and said, hey, we got another chance to go back to the World Series. We may have a chance to do it again this year. And the bottom line is just a competitive ball club. I've been here my whole career, and I wanted to stay here, and I never wanted to leave, and it was kind of frustrating to be thought of as a player who may be shipped out.
What separates this Atlanta Braves ball club from some of the ones in years past? I'm not talking about talent. I'm just talking about the mental toughness of this team.
Well, I think what happened when John Schuerholz came in here and started to put different things into effect, there was just a sense of professionalism, a sense of confidence, and a sense that we wanted to turn this thing around. It kept the same core of young players, and we all started to believe that we could win. And more than anything, that's it. We've got a lot of talent to go with it. I think everybody knows that. But just the idea of the whole organization going in one direction made a big difference.
The words of Jeff Blauser, who leads off the Atlanta 5th inning. Blauser, you'd have to say, has been the most consistent Atlanta hitter from start to finish this season. He's done just that all season long. His second hit tonight. While Justice and Gann have been hot and cold, Blauser has stayed better than warm all year.
Let's pause for station identification.
You're watching WGN-TV Channel 9 Chicago, America's #1 sports station.
We're in Atlanta, where the Braves lead the Cubs 5-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Blauser starts the inning with a single, and here comes Gant, McGriff, and Justice. Gann is 1 for 2, an RBI single in the first inning. Sounded like he got sawed off for that pitch, and he pops out to Sandberg.
All the papers were full of the Braves being a dynasty and this Atlanta Braves team and what they've accomplished and what they're trying to accomplish this year. But Tommy, the Braves are going to be thought of as the Buffalo Bills of baseball until they win the big one. And there's no doubt about that. They have a good ball club. They've had a good ball club. They've never won the World Series. And when it comes time to go down the history of baseball and good teams, the team that finishes second in the series is not really known as a dynasty. It's a little frustrating for them at this point because they feel but for a couple of plays in either series they would have won it. The fact is they didn't. And National League champs 2 straight years in a row is a hollow victory when you keep losing the big prize.
I agree 100%. That's why I'm surprised the way some of the Braves players were talking coming into this year. McGriff fouls it away. Smoltz came out and made the comment that we can basically show up, be a 500 team. Well, basically he showed up all season long and he's a little bit better than 500 pitcher. And I remember hearing Johnny Bench say when we saw him in Cincinnati a couple of weeks ago that, you know, you win back-to-back World Series, maybe you can strut the strut, as they say. But when you go to the big show twice and get beat, you should be careful about what it is you say and what it is you do.
Well, what you have to do is realize, Thom, that the job is not completed. And I think John Sherholtz knew that better than anyone, which is one of the reasons why we see this year that Fred McGriff is on this ball club. He knew he just didn't have enough. Now he thinks he does have enough. The question is, did he wait a little too long to get Fred McGriff? There's no doubt that it's a much better ball club with him. They're playing .750 baseball with McGriff in the lineup, but they waited an awfully long time to get him here.
1-2 on McGriff. And it's strike 3 called on the outside corner. McGriff did not like that call by home plate umpire Ed Rapuano. 2 down in the inning. Bosky's second strikeout.
Rick Wilkins wants it away. Bosky throws it away. It looks like a pretty generous call, as this one might have been a little low, might have been a little outside, but Bosky will take it. And that is a big bat to move by. But another big bat follows him up in David Justice. And it's funny, Thom, Bobby Cox doesn't have any problems putting 2 left-handers back-to-back in his batting order. Of course, when they're Justice and McGriff, you don't worry about who's on the mound.
Justice hit his 33rd home run back in the 3rd inning. He's down a strike here. Well, people all season long had talked about the trio and the early damage done by Clark, Williams, and Bonds. That's an outstanding trio indeed, but it does not stack up with the numbers Gant, McGriff, and Justice are putting up.
Bobby Cox took a lot of heat here in Atlanta on the talk shows, in the newspapers. A lot of people calling for his job earlier in the season. And through it all, he's remained the same Bobby Cox. Not very emotional. A very much stay the course type of manager. But certainly a wonderful baseball man, because he was the architect of this team. Regardless of what John Sherholtz did to the ball club, it was Bobby Cox who put this team together. He was the general manager of this team and got all of this young talent. And then when John Sherholtz came here, it was up to him to just add a few pieces of the puzzle. Got Rafael Belliard and Sid Bream. The last couple of years, they were very big defensively for this team. He went out, got Fred McGriff this year. But most of the young guys you see that are carrying this team, from Gant to Justice, were Bobby Cox men.
Fouled straight back, and that includes the 3 big pitchers that came up through the Atlanta system. I know Smoltz came over in the trade, but by and large, he was a Brave farmhand before getting up here.
Well, that was Bobby Cox's trade.
That's what I'm saying. And they drafted Glavine, and they drafted Avery.
They drafted Merker as a #1. But this team now has a very good chemistry between front office and manager on the field. Sherholtz and Cox work very well together.
Bosky keeping an eye on Blauser. The Braves lead here in the last of the 5th inning, 5-3.
They're going to have a log jam in this outfield because they called up another young man now, Tony Tarasco, who's got a chance of being a good player, and I don't know where they're going to put him out there.
There you get a look at Tarasco, just brought up. Justice strikes out, and that'll end the inning. 1 hit, 1 left. We played 5, and the Cubs trail 5-3.
This is your world.
To celebrate Buick's 90th anniversary, we proudly introduce the 90th Anniversary LeSabre. LeSabre has a proven reputation for quality and the highest projected resale value in its class. Now, you get all this Buick quality, comfort, and elegance at a special anniversary price. The 90th Anniversary Buick LeSabre. Quality its competition just can't hold a candle to.
The really great teams go all out. They never let up, not for a second. That's why Electric Avenue beats the pants off the competition.
Mike, this week at Electric Avenue, get a Packard Bell 486SX computer with color monitor and free Epson printer for only $9.99, or a Packard Bell 486SX multimedia computer with color monitor and free Epson printer for just $15.99. And Electric Avenue will beat any competitor's price, guaranteed.
Teeny little guys, weren't they?
Tire foam protectant from Armor All. One spray, and even old tires look great. Kind of makes you wish we made car foam. Tire foam from Armor All.
Later tonight on WGN, Hawaii is the scene for a very special friendship that develops between 6 teenagers. Michael Paul and Wayne's World Tina Caray star in Aloha Summer tonight at 11:30 on WGN Channel 9. And that word is teenagers.
And if you saw Wayne's World, you'll appreciate Tia Caray.
I hear you. Fly ball in the left field, caught by Ronnie Gann off the bat of Derrick May. 1 pitch, 1 out, with the Cubs trailing 5-3 here in the 6th.
Bullpen now quiet as Smoltz has gotten through 5 innings. But at the first sign of trouble, they will be up again. They do not have what you would call a Rod Beck or Brian Harvey type stopper down there, although Greg McMichael has saved 11 in a row. And he's been outstanding. A man who was released by, of all people, the Cleveland Indians, who are desperate for pitching. Released Greg McMichael, and he's found the magic here in Atlanta.
I was getting ready to say he's actually been better than Beck and Harvey because he hasn't blown one yet. Not one. Mark Wohlers.
Just want to make sure the neck of Steve Bedrosian is nice and loose.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about trying that with you here in a few minutes. Sammy is 0 for 2. He has bounced to short and struck out. And still 0 for his career against John Smoltz.
Against John Smoltz to this point, he appears to be throwing the invisible ball to Sammy Sosa. And he hasn't had much luck with him. Throws a fastball, Sammy guessing breaking ball. Throws a breaking ball, Sammy guessing fastball. And that's what happens when you struggle against any given pitcher. I think that's Marvin Freeman. It is very chilly here tonight in Atlanta. About 87 degrees, 90% humidity.
There was a nice breeze blowing through here a little bit earlier, though, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. Real nice.
Right off the lake out here, just that imaginary lake, which sits just beyond the right center field wall. There they are. The flags are blowing in.
You can see that breeze tonight.
Sammy goes after a bad ball, and he's down at 2-2. That wasn't even close. Pitchers like that a lot. Just as they're going into their windup.
Oh, yeah. Total bases, Sammy Sosa among the league leaders. Barry Bonds by a wide margin on top.
Here's a dribbler to Pendleton, and they're 2 away. You know who's having a good season? And every time we put up one of those statistical boards.
Jeff Bagwell.
Dante Bichette.
Another guy having a very good year. And he has a big advantage, Tommy, because he's playing in the best offensive ballpark in the league. As Sammy Sosa gets out in front of a slider, taps it very easily to Pendleton. Sammy not doing too much in the 5 spot tonight.
Wilkins has been aboard twice in the 6 spot. He's drawn a walk and singled into right field. Well, the base is empty and 2 down. Well, Wilkins hammers one to deep right. If this ball's fair, it's gone, and it hooks. No, it's a home run. Down the line, it just made it inside. And Wilkins has hit his 24th home run and has drawn the Cubs to within 1. It's 5-4.
Well, a good combination for Rick Wilkins. A road game at night, because on the road at night, Rick Wilkins is hitting .420, and he continues to show you that with his 24th home run, his 55th driven in, and Montgomery Ward donates another $100 to Cubs Care for the blast off the bat of Rick Wilkins. That one hugged the line all the way and managed to stay fair. Larry Vanover right on the line, called it. The Cubs will take it.
Sanchez, a bouncing ball to Blauser. That'll end the inning. Cubs have hit their 3rd home run of the game. Sandberg, Grace, and now Wilkins. It is a 1-run contest.
A participating advertiser in Cubs baseball is Pepsi. Gotta have it.
What? Oh, guard dog. Oh, very scary. Finally, the good stuff.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
For as long as anyone can remember, the Roadmaster name has graced only automobiles of great strength and security. Buick Roadmaster for 1993 is no exception. Consider, for example, the protection of Roadmaster's full perimeter frame. Its V8 power, anti-lock brakes, and driver airbag. Buick Roadmaster, perhaps the world's best value in a traditional luxury car.
With over 1,000 flights in and out of O'Hare every business day, United Airlines can help you hustle home in time for the first pitch. Because nothing inspires your favorite knuckleballer, grand slammer, or MVP like the cheers of their #1 fan. Come fly Chicago's hometown airline. Come fly the friendly skies.
PFW covers the NFL, so you can tackle Sunday with a vengeance. Pro Football Weekly starts Saturday, September 4th at 9 a.m. on Channel 9.
Cub fans with more than 5,000 votes cast. Mark Grace is still leading in the race for the Cubs MVP 93 with 38% of the votes. Remember, your votes benefit WGN-TV's children's charities and Cubs Care. To vote, call 1-900-820-CUBS. It's $1.45 per call. All proceeds benefit charity. Just be ready with your favorite player's uniform number. The Cubs have drawn within a run thanks to the long ball off the bat of Rick Wilkins. We'll show you that again here in a minute.
Looked like a low slider that Wilkins got ahead of, and he got all of it. Take another look at it. Here's the low slider, and he just reaches down and cranks it over the head of Dave Justice. Just fair. And if you can hit him down the line here, Tommy, at 330, this is a pretty good place to hit. Those are very small dimensions down each line.
Pendleton singles into center field to open the Atlanta 6. Cubs were down 5-1 in this game. They've scored 3 unanswered runs.
And I would think that Bobby Cox would be pinch hitting for John Smoltz here. Up to date, Florida still holding the 1-run lead over San Francisco.
Oh, you mean we're not watching that San Diego Pirates score?
And that's a big one. Actually, the Cubs are watching that Pittsburgh score, because Pittsburgh breathing right down their necks for 4th place.
Damon Berryhill, the batter, 1 for 2. He singled little dribbler by Sandberg into right field in the 4th inning.
Surprisingly, Berryhill's only grounded into 3 double plays this year. There's Jimmy Williams, who has gotten a sign from Bobby Cox. And Pendleton is not exactly the fastest man around. He is 3 for 3 in stolen bases, but he doesn't run often. And Chuck McElroy getting loose in the bullpen under the watchful eye of Tony Musick.
1-0 to Berryhill. Throw to first, sending Pendleton back to the bag. Lemke waits on deck in the Atlanta bullpen. Still busy up that way down the right field line and foul ground. Is that Mark Wohlers down there? Yep.
Looks a lot like him if it's not. That's him. And your host, Ned Yost, the bullpen coach of Atlanta.
Did he feed you that line?
No.
Your host, Ned Yost?
No. Kind of came out.
Did you think of that last night while so diligently preparing for tonight's broadcast on our off day?
You can never be underprepared, Tom. I've always said that. Write that down, will you?
I'll be
Just
happy.
another pearl of wisdom.
Thank you. On this, the 27th day of August, the year of our Lord, 1993. Vizcaíno in on the grass at third base. It's 1-1 to Damon Berryhill.
I'd like to pass along best wishes to Grandma Suzanne Bassinger, looking on in Skokie, the home of Arnie Harris. Suzanne, a big Cub fan, and her grandchildren down here, unfortunately, rooting for the Braves. And I think, Tommy, Florida's added to their lead because the fans here cheering for no apparent reason. And it has to be that the Florida Marlins have got something going.
Orestes Estrada has hit a 3-run home run, giving the Marlins a 6-2 lead now over the Giants. Oh boy, it could be 3.5 after tonight, although the Cubs plan on winning this game to keep it at 4.5 should the Giants lose. Cubs are only down 5-4 here in the last of the 6. Smoked into right center. Pendleton will make the turn. He'll go to third. And the Braves have runners on the corners, nobody out.
And the fans here in Atlanta, as if they needed any added incentive, have seen the Marlins score as Damon Berryhill drives one into the gap. Runners at the corners, nobody out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has a right of approval of the announcers and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is prohibited.
Pendleton at third. Over at first, it's Berryhill for Mark Lemke. He has singled and bounced into a double play, and they have the tomahawk chop copied from Florida State University going here in Atlanta. You couldn't find 10,000 people in this ballpark 3 years ago.
That's one of the big things that John Schierholtz has done here, Tommy. He came in as a man who knew how to win, assembled a ball club who did win, reinstilled the enthusiasm here in Atlanta. And this has gone from a liability as a franchise to just an unbelievable, profitable franchise. And they're averaging 48,000 fans per game. And this city is tomahawk chop crazy.
Sid Bream has moved to the on-deck circle. He would bat for John Smoltz. Lemke the hitter right now with Pendleton at third and Berryhill at first. Nobody out.
Here's a scenario. Sid Bream is going to come on to hit most probably. And then Chuck McElroy will come into the game, bringing in Bill Pecota. Of course, that all depends on just exactly what Mark Lemke does in this at-bat. He's not running particularly well, and Bosky looking for the double play.
2-0 delivery to Lemke. It goes to 3 balls and no strikes.
Lemke is cut from the mold of the tough second baseman. Not a guy with overwhelming skills, just a man who put in a lot of time in the minor leagues. He's not flashy. He gets the job done, comes through with big hits when they certainly need it. And he's a favorite down here.
He should be. 3-0 to Lemke. And he takes a strike on the outer edge. It took the thought right out of my mouth. Here's a guy Even if you hate the Atlanta Braves, you got to love Mark Lemke. Guy will get dirty, dive for balls, go in hard to second base, put down a bunt for you. He is the consummate team player, and there aren't many of those guys around. 3-1 now to Lemke. And it goes full, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Damon Berryhill left no doubt that he wasn't going anywhere. He had perhaps the shortest lead I have ever seen. He could have collapsed and made it back to the bag. He had about a foot lead at first base. Talking it over with his former teammate, Mark Grace.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Pendleton at third. Berryhill at first. The Braves lead 5-4. Still a short lead at first by Berryhill. And there's a move that never works. Berryhill still only about a step and a half off the bag, and he's going, and it's hit at Sandberg. This will be 2, and it is. The run scores from third base, and that makes it a 6-4 Atlanta lead on the double play off the bat of Mark Lemke.
It's 2 double plays for Lemke, running his season total of 16. Caray donates $100 to Cubs Care, and watch Berryhill try to take out Sanchez. The old leg whip, and it doesn't work as Ray was going down, still made the throw. So if not for that huge lead by Berryhill, maybe he would have been able to break up that double play. With Damon a foot and a half off the bag and not much doing. So now with nobody on base, Bosky stays in the game to face Sid Bream. Sid hitting .259. Been a good pinch hitter, 6 for 18.
Fouled straight back. John Smoltz goes 6 innings of 6-hit, 4-run baseball. All the runs are earned. He allowed 3 home runs. Sandberg, Grace, and Wilkins got him. He fanned 2 and walked 1. Bosky, in this his 3rd inning of work, has given up 5 hits and a run. He's fanned 3, walked none. Now they'll forever remember the base hit of Francisco Cabrera, bringing in Sid Bream ahead of the tag of Mike LaValliere here in Game 7 in the bottom of the 9th inning of the National League Championship Series.
Sid Bream knows exactly where he stands with his team. All he has to do is look at first base, see Freddie McGriff, and know he's going to be there for the next 2 years. And Sid Bream, with no contract for next year, will be looking for another place to play. And he says he wants to play another year or 2. Talked to him, Tommy, and he's a very personable young man who says that he's hoping somebody will want to take a chance on a guy that's had a lot of playoff experience with both Pittsburgh and Atlanta. So he knows what it takes to play in a winning baseball team.
One and 2 to Bream, and there's strike 3, and he knew it. 1 run, 2 hits, nobody left. Terry back into 7 through 6. Braves back up 6-4.
Don't sleep. Peep the Edge. The Apollo Comedy Hour. Saturday night at 12:30 on WGN Channel 9.
He's an American classic, a comedy legend, the famous San Diego Chicken. The funniest, craziest, and one of the most beloved comics ever. And now for the first time on video, it's the Chicken's greatest bits. If you love to laugh, here's the tape you gotta have. It's one hilarious routine after another, caught in the act of his outrageous live performances. More than 55 million people have seen the Chicken in person in all 50 states and around the world. But the Chicken's home video is not in stores. This is a limited time television offer, the comedy tape of the year. Yes, everybody loves the Chicken. Well, almost everybody. Here's how to order now.
To order your copy of the Chicken's Greatest Bits video, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-872-4200 or send $19.95 plus $4.50 shipping to the Chicken video. P.O. Box 7008, Department 7, Tarzana, California, 91356. Order now.
My customers look to me, to True Value, for something they can't get in those big warehouse stores. They know I'll take time to answer their questions, and I've got the right products. Real True Values.
Like Beats Nails. It creates a tough bond on wood, metal, and more. Buy a 2-pack and get a free tube of household repair adhesive. And lifetime Red Devil siliconized acrylic caulk is guaranteed to last as long as you own your home.
You know, the name says it all. True Value.
I can't hear him. Yeah. Hello again, everybody. Harry Caray with Steve Stone and Thom Brennaman as we go in the top of the 7th. 6-4 ball game now. We have a new pitcher for the Braves.
And it's Mark Wohlers taking on. Wohlers, a hard-throwing right-hander. 5-0, 2.76 ERA, on for the 32nd time. Span 29 and 32 2/3 innings.
There's a pitch in there, strike call. Vizcaíno leading it off. The Cubs have hit 3 homers tonight. Sandberg the first, Grace the second, and Wilkins the third. There's a line drive down the left field line, foul. All the home runs have been singletons. McGriff hit one with 2 on, and Dave Justice hit the other one for Atlanta with the bases empty. Mark Wohlers, young right-hander.
Willie Wilson in the on-deck circle, so Sean Bosky will give way. After doing a pretty good job, the Cubs have fought their way back into this one. And there's a look at Willie.
Wohlers only 23 years old. Out of Holyoke, Maine. Bouncing ball. Lemke has it over to first. Easy out. One gone. Rick Harrigan from the University of Illinois in Chicago. Want to be remembered, the Mama Harrigan in Hobart, Indiana. Rick and Otis are here. One out, nobody on.
There's a look at what Wohlers has done against the Cubs, and as you can see, he's given them nothing.
Arnie, I can't hear you. What happened? Swings and he misses. Willie Wilson will take over in center field. The Sammy Sosa going to right in all probability.
Willie Wilson hitting .242, 8 for 32 with 3 runs batted in as a pinch hitter this year.
A little bit low. 2 balls and the strike, 1 out. Cubs trail by 2.
The Braves still believe that Mark Wohlers will be a stopper, but right now they're using him as a setup man, and he is a hard thrower.
Yeah. 1 out, nobody on. Swung and he missed. The count now, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. He might have chased a high fastball. 3-2. Mark Wohlers on the hill. Fouled it out of play. Wohlers, W-O-H-L-E-R-S, 6'4", 205 pounds, 23 years old.
It's Bob Scanlon loosening up in the bullpen, and he's going to come on to pitch.
Again, he swung at him. That's the third time he swung at ball 4 and fouled it off.
And there's a look at Scanlon. And Willie following suit with the rest of his Cub teammates. A tough man to walk. Mike Stanton getting loose in case Wohlers has some difficulty.
1 out. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off again. That was a good fastball right down the middle. Wilson hitting only .242. 8 out of 32. There's ball 4 and he's on. And now we got speed on at first base. And here is Dwight Smith. Looking at Chuck Cartier. 1 out, 1 on. Smitty hit the ball hard his last time up. Nothing out of 3. Line drive, base hit, left field. The 2 tying runs are on base. Wilson's going to try for third. Changes his mind. Goes back to second base. The ball bounces into center field. But Wilson is shaken up to not take advantage. And runners are on at first and second with 1 out. And Sandberg coming up.
Mark Lemke, a pretty smart player. He just laid on Willie Wilson, making sure that Wilson couldn't get up. Wilson thinking about going to third, but Gant gets it back in a hurry. He puts on the brakes, and the throw bounces off Willie. And look at Lemke. After the ball bounced off him, we'll see Wilson taking the big turn at second and realizing he's going to be dead to rights. Has to get back. And then Lemke just lays on Wilson after the ball hits off him. Willie's not going to get up and has to stay at second base.
Now Sandberg, who homered off John Smoltz in the first, is up there. Runners at first and second, 1 away. Mark Wohlers. Strike at the knees over the outside corner.
Now, odds
Nothing
are
tricky about that.
And odds are overwhelming that Mike Stanton will come into this game. You've got Grayson May following Sandberg. So unless Ryne grounds into a double play that takes the Cubs out of the inning, Grace is going to have to be looking at Stanton.
Now Wohlers is set. Look out. High and inside. That evens it up.
Cubs have great speed on the bases in Willie Wilson and Dwight Smith. And if Sandberg can pull Wohlers, Ronnie Gant is playing well off the line in left field. There's all kinds of room down the line in left, as you can see there. Good chance to score 2 runs on a double to left.
If he can pull Wohlers' fastball, that'll be something. Inside, and it's 2 balls and the strike. And here comes Jeff Blauser, the shortstop, in, trying to settle down Young.
Jim Lefevre thinks that Wohlers balked, and he's yelling at Randy Marsh. And we'll take a look at Wohlers again in the stretch, and Jim Lefevre saying that he kind of bobbed and then threw the ball. Now watch Wohlers here. Doesn't look like much there. He just fell off the mound, but he's talking about before that. But Randy Marsh said nothing to it.
Wilson at second. Smith at first. Sandberg at the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball to first baseman. Wow, he threw the ball to the left field. 1 run is in. Another man goes to third. A 6-5 ball game. As Fred McGriff made a wild throw past Blauser in the left field.
Freddie McGriff did the same thing against the Cubs in Wrigley Field. This is an easy play, and you've got to make sure of one, but McGriff throws the ball wide. And the Cubs now pull within one. That's the 16th error for Fred McGriff. And puts not only the tying run, but the go-ahead run in scoring position.
Because the error he made like that in Chicago, remember, he hit Mark Grace on the helmet. And the ball landed in left field just as did this one. They're going to walk Grace intentionally to get to Derrick May. Of course, they have a left-hander getting ready in the bullpen. So Grace is being intentionally passed.
It's the 10th time that Mark Grace has drawn an intentional walk this year, and that loads the bases, putting the Braves in a double play situation.
The Giants are playing at Florida, so this information being relayed to them doesn't get the response in Florida, I'm sure, that it got here when the Giants fell behind the Marlins on Destrada's 3-run homer. Here comes Bobby Cox. We're going to have a new pitcher coming in, and we'll be back to tell you about it in a moment.
The really great teams go all out. They never let up, not for a second. That's why Electric Avenue beats the pants off the competition.
Mike, this week at Electric Avenue, get a Packard Bell 486 SX computer with color monitor and free Epson printer for only $9.99. Or a Packard Bell 486 SX multimedia computer with color monitor and free Epson printer for just $15.99. And Electric Avenue will beat any competitor's price, guaranteed.
Teeny little guys, weren't they?
Caray back in the ballpark. The Cubs have the bases loaded. Only one out. Mike Stanton, the left-handed relief pitcher, will be facing Derrick May.
Stanton started this season as the stopper, and quickly he had the saves in the 20s. But of late, he's really struggled. He still has 27 saves. 4-5 record, but a high ERA of 4.95 on for the 54th time. He lost his stopper job to Greg McMichael, who has 11 consecutive saves. And now Stanton comes in with the bases loaded and Derrick May up.
The one game that the Cubs beat the Braves in Chicago this last series, they defeated Mike Stanton. And he'll be facing a left-handed hitting Derrick May.
Derrick has grounded into 13 double plays, and on a ground ball in the infield, Mark Grace has got to get first a good lead. And then he has got to take out the pivot man, whoever that might be, at second. Because if you do take him out, you get a run, and that's the tying run.
6-5 in favor of the Braves. There's a drive. It might be out of here. It could be. It is a grand slam. How about that? Holy cow. Derrick May. It's a grand slam. And the Cubs have taken the lead. 9-6. Look at that. Holy cow is right. First pitch, he turned on it, and you could tell right away it was gone.
Home run number 10 for Derrick May. Now has driven in 75 runs. A pinch home run for Derrick May, his first of the year. His second pinch hit, and the Cubs have taken the lead. And the Boo Birds are out here in Atlanta.
Here now is Sammy Sosa. That's a 4th home run tonight for the Cubs. There's a ground ball. Pendleton over to first. Easy out. Well, let's watch that home run again.
First pitch, Derrick May. Looking fastball all the way. He got it and took it downtown. Montgomery Ward donates $500 to Cubs Care for the grand slam off the bat of Derrick May. And what a happy man he is, as the Cubs have got the long ball tonight. And Mark Grace, who was intentionally passed, sees his teammate put the Cubs up.
Here now is Wilkins. So all these runs but one are charged to Wohlers. The 4th run is charged to Stanton, who threw the home run pitch. Two men are out. 4 runs are in. Derrick May, the big man again. 75 RBIs for the year now, and 10 home runs.
Larry, there's nothing like being in a pennant race. The next best thing is playing the spoiler, and that's what the Cubs are trying to do in this one. And Bobby Cox cannot be very happy, but he still has 3 at-bats.
Pitch a little bit low. A walk. A single by Smith. An error by McGriff. An intentional pass, and boom. The grand salami by Derrick May. The Cubs lead 9-6. Outside.
That sigh of relief you might have heard, Harry, is the Giant Ball Club in Florida.
Yeah.
Because when they flashed that one up on the board, there's going to be a lot of relieved Giants, even if they go on to lose that one to the Marlins.
Swings, and he strikes out. So, the crowd is booing now. 4 big runs on just 3 hits, but one of them was a grand slam.
I've given thousands of autographs, but the most important one is on my donor card.
To become a tissue donor, call 1-800-767-1200.
You may not have given side impact collisions much consideration, but Buick has. You may not know that by the year 1997, all cars will be required to meet the U.S. government's side impact safety standard, or that the Buick Regal sedan meets this standard today, 4 years in advance. But it is important information, and we think it's definitely food for thought.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh no, it's Ted from accounting.
If you're looking for a vacation package to Hawaii, across the Pacific, across the Atlantic, or anywhere throughout the Americas, and you want the confidence of the friendly skies, just follow these simple directions. Call your travel agent or call United Vacations. 1-800-328-6877.
Come along for adventure in a magic land. Set sail with Sandberg of the 7 Seas. Saturday afternoon at 1 on Channel 9.
Derrick Caray back at Fulton County Stadium, and Bob Scanlon now, as the Cubs are leading 9-6, will be the new pitcher.
Scanlon at 3-5. The ERA a very high 5.34, on for the 59th time. 60 2/3 innings, 71 hits, given up 6 homers, walked 23, fanned 36. And the last appearance, not a good one, against Montreal, and Rick Wilkins out there giving Bob Scanlon a pep talk. 3 big innings to go as far as getting by this Brave order, and you've got to go through it probably 1.5 more times.
I think that was Derrick May's first Grand Slam, wasn't it?
I'm not sure if that was his first Grand Slam.
I think so.
But it certainly was one of his biggest.
Here now is Otis Nixon to lead it off. Scanlon on the hill.
And there's a look at the hero for the moment, Derrick May, as the Cubs get 5 on just 2 hits. And the error by McGriff was very costly for the Braves.
Seems to me that Derrick May hit one his rookie year.
Steve Buechele has taken over at third base.
Otis Nixon, 1 out of 3.
Vizcaíno is at second base. So Ryne Sandberg out of the ball game. Sanchez stays at short.
I wonder what happened to Sandberg. There's a bouncing ball. Good throw will get him, and does. 1 away. And that'll bring up Blauser. The Cubs are leading by 3. One out, nobody on. Fastball outside, ball 2.
Bullpen up and going for Atlanta. And Bob Scanlon said despite the 60 appearances that his arm is not tired. That's not the reason why he's been getting hit. He says he's just making bad pitches.
Ball 3. A seesaw ball game. Dan Plesac getting ready in the bullpen for the Cubs. There's a strike ball. Blauser, who's 2 out of 3 tonight.
Plesac's getting ready for the combination of McGriff and Justice if Scanlon doesn't get out of this inning. 1, 2, 3.
So he swung at ball 4. So the count now is 3-2. Scanlon, Bosky. Bouncing foul. Ball 4. And so with 1 out, Blauser draws a base on ball. And that brings up Ronnie Gant.
Ronnie Gant has grounded into 11 double plays this year. And if you can get him to ground into 1 here, you will not have to face McGriff or Justice. And I got to believe that Plesac will come in to face Freddie McGriff, barring the double play.
High inside, ball 1. Well, I can't find.
That's his first, if you're looking for.
Yeah.
That is his first.
That's what I
and
thought.
Billy Connors now coming out as Scanlon finding that strike zone elusive here in the 7th inning.
Plesac was touched for a home run by Fred McGriff in Chicago recently. One out, one on. Swung and he missed. He got that pitch up a little bit to the outside part of the plate. And the count is evened up. Six Chicago. Bouncing ball. Play at second base. Sandberg was replaced by Vizcaíno, who takes Sanchez's throw for the force out.
And here comes Jim Lefevre, and I think that's going to be it for Bob Scanlon. Bowser going in, trying to break up two, but on this chopper in the infield, no chance to get Ronnie Gant, who runs well.
There'll be a Plesac coming in here in a moment, and we'll be back to tell you more about it later.
The airline that gives Chicago nonstops to Tokyo has added nonstops to Seoul without missing a beat. United, the only U.S. airline with 747-400 nonstops to Seoul. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
If you can dream it, the Rebel can do it. Now EOS Rebel from Canon has more power over time, space, and light to create images, not just snapshots.
Image is everything.
EOS Rebel and Rebel S from Canon, so advanced it's simple.
Dan Plesac. He didn't have any numbers at all until this past week. Now he's won one and lost one. There's Skip's son, my young grandson, Josh Caray. That's his dad, Skip, to his right. And there's Tommy Brennaman in the next booth to the left. He sure looks like Skip, doesn't he?
There's the numbers on Dan Plesac. 18 walks, 35 strikeouts. Making his 43rd appearance this year, the ERA 4.70. He inherits Ronnie Gant at first base. 2 outs here in the 7th inning. A pretty tough customer in Fred McGriff, who will be trying to make amends for that very costly error in the top of the 7th.
It'll be McGriff. And if he gets on, Justice next.
And that's the sentiment here in Atlanta. Get well, Dion. They certainly want to see him in the lineup.
Well, the long balls which you fear here. There is Jose Batista getting ready. Florida's still leading the Giants in the 7th. Be funny if they both lost.
A lot funnier for San Francisco than for Atlanta, who are 5 games back in the loss column.
McGriff. Inside, ball 1.
Now McGriff hit the home run off Dan Plesac into left center field in Wrigley Field. He stands well off the plate, but has very good plate coverage away.
Swung and he missed. And boy, you know what he has on his mind. He was going for the down. Bottom of the seventh. Curve outside. 2 balls and the strike. Gant, the runner at first. Ball. If he gets on, Justice would represent the tying run. Three balls and the strike, 2 out. High fly ball will be an easy out. Derrick May waiting, and he has it to retire the side. No runs, 1 left. At the end of 7, the Cubs lead 9-6.
Hey, what makes Ace America's place for paint?
We make our own.
It's premium quality.
Your satisfaction's guaranteed.
Right now, get Ace 7-Star, our best interior flat latex, for only $10.97 a gallon.
Hey, Ace is America's place for quality paint.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, Desonex. Killing those grungy fungi before they get cracking and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Desonex.
This summer, you could go visit Aunt Betty. Or you could be hanging with the babes on Paradise Beach.
You could babysit the brats next door. Or you could cut loose on Paradise Beach. So this summer, ride the wave to TV's hottest new show, Paradise Beach.
Weekdays at 6 on WGN.
Thank you. To all of you attracted by Buick's reputation for quality, but who think a new Buick is beyond your means, may I make the following suggestion? Go see the new Buick Skylark Custom. It is every bit a quality Buick. And as the most affordable Buick for $1993, it makes Buick quality more attractive than ever.
Hey, folks all over America trust their homes to Ace Paint. Here's why.
We make our own. It's premium quality. Your satisfaction's guaranteed.
Now get Ace 7-Star, our best flat latex house paint, for only $11.99 a gallon.
Hey, Ace is America's place for quality paint.
Harry, Caray, and Steve Thom just looking over that 7th inning. The Cubs made 5 runs on only 2 hits. There was an error and a couple bases on balls, and a single by Dwight Smith. But Derrick May drove in 4 of them with his grand slam. Let's pause here for identification.
You're watching WGN-TV Channel 9 Chicago, America's #1 sports station.
The news, the WGN news, will follow the ball game. And the Cubs are leading here 9-6. Here's Sanchez to face veteran Jay Howell.
Howell at 2-3, the ERA a fine 2.82, on for the 43rd time.
Strange game, isn't it? Here are the Braves, fresh from having beaten the Giants 3 in a row in Candlestick Park. Jump out in front in the very first inning with 4 today against the Cubs. But now the Cubs are leading 9-6. Curveball is high, 2 balls and a strike.
The Braves were saying that although they were coming home, which normally should be an advantage, they were very comfortable on the road. And, well, they should be, winning 20 of their last 22 away from Fulton County. This team is 10 over 500 at home, 20 over 500 on the road.
Here's a high fly ball to Justice, easy out. Sanchez flies to Justice and right. Looking ahead to their 8th, it'll be Justice, Pendleton, and Berryhill. Vizcaíno, who started that 7th inning inauspiciously enough as he bounced out. Then Wilson batting for Bosky, walked after fouling off a number 3-2 pitches. Then Smith singled, and then the big error by Fred McGriff. High pop foul out of play. Is on the ground ball off the bat of off the bat of Ryne Sandberg. And he might have been able to get a double play, but he threw the ball into left field. Strike. Call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I wonder if Sandberg might have been hurt on that play. He wound up at second base. He struck him out with a curveball. Vizcaíno called out on strike. Here's Steve Buechele. Batting for the first time. Hitting .259 with 11 home runs. The Braves have only 2 more chances. The Cubs are leading 9-6. Dwight Smith, who's 1 out of 4, will be next. Trying to check his swing, fouled it back. Atlanta scored 4 runs in the first inning on 4 straight hits. Then they added another one in the 3rd. To lead 5-1. Line base hit. Buechele drilled a single to right. We will not be televising tomorrow, being preempted by the network. Our next telecast on Channel 9 will be Sunday when Greg Hibbert pitches against Thom. The leadoff man will be 11:30 Sunday, Chicago time. Curveball inside. They're starting that wave again. Foul tipped the ball. And Smith kind of hobbles away from the plate. Derrick Mays, grand slam off the left-hander Mike Stanton. The big blow of this game. Strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jay Howell, depending on his curveball, knocked him out. Gotta hold him. We go in the bottom of the 8th. Cubs still lead 9-6.
What'll it be, fellas?
Make it a Bud Light.
Sorry. This is the last one.
Well, I think I've been. I'll take that one.
What do you want to give for it? I'm a 2 and a 10. Give me 10, a 20 bid. Give me 20 now, 30. Give me 30 now, 40 bid. Give me 40 now, 50. Give me 50 now, 60 bid. Give me 60 now, 70. Give me 70 now, 80.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Bud Light, please.
Sorry, boys. This is the last one.
Hey, what makes Ace America's place for paint?
We make our own.
It's premium quality.
Your satisfaction's guaranteed.
Right now, get Ace 7-Star, our best interior flat latex, for only $10.97 a gallon.
Hey, Ace is America's place for quality paint.
That's life. That's life. That's what people say.
Life can be maddening, goofy, or downright fun, but it's never predictable. Aflac helps your family be prepared for the unpredictable. We're the expert in supplemental insurance. Our agents work to help close the gaps in your health insurance. Gaps like deductibles and co-payments. Nobody closes those gaps better than Aflac.
'Cause this old world,
Life supplies the surprises.
keeps going around.
Aflac supplies the peace of mind.
We've changed our aisles. We've changed our styles. We've changed our lines. We've changed our signs. We've changed displays and we've changed our ways. Yeah, things are changing at Montgomery Ward. Things are changing at Montgomery Ward.
Caray back at Fulton County Stadium. Braves are taking giant steps to first place. Hey, they must have let the Giants know that the Cubs are leading, because Bonds and McGee have each homered, and now the Giants trail only by 2, 6-4.
Giants have 2 men on in the 7th inning and just 1 out as they try to come back against the Marlins.
Here's Justice. He tried to check his swing and pops out to Sanchez. 1 away. Boy, he sure got rid of McGriff and Justice very handily. Who's he? Who's that guy?
That's the King. The King of Atlanta.
We can't have kings in this country. 1 out.
Batista loosening up just in case Dan Plesac needs some help.
Plesac's retired 2 in a row. He got McGriff to end the 7th and Justice to start the 8th.
Terry Pendleton, a switch hitter, a much better hitter from the right side.
2 balls, no strikes. Batista getting ready. There's Tony Muser behind him. All 3. One out, nobody on. Strike at the knee. Muser, a good baseball man. Had a fine minor league record as a manager. Swings and he misses. 3-2. One out, nobody on. Ball 4, he walked him. And that brings up Berryhill, who'll turn around and hit right-handed. If he can get him to hit the ball on the ground, he's a good double play target.
Now Damon Berryhill's power is from the left side. He's hit 6 home runs, 5 as a left-hand hitter. However, this year the batting average much better from the right side.
Lemke will be next. There goes the chop. Swung, and he fouls it back. One out, one on. Bottom of the 8th. Cubs leading 9-6. High. A ball in the strike. Crowd quiet. And it's a big crowd. Might be around 50,000 here tonight. Foul into the stands down the right field line. 2-2. 1-2 rather. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. He struck him out swinging at a high slider, a curveball. 2 gone. Here's Lemke.
The high slider, not a good pitch, but good enough to get Berryhill. And Vizcaino now on with a word for Dan Plesac. As Lemke turns around, 4 switch hitters in the starting lineup for the Braves. Nixon, Pendleton, Berryhill, and Lemke.
A high pop foul. That'll be caught. Wilkins is there to retire the side. Only 3 outs to go. No hits, no runs, 1 left. At the end of 8, 9-6 Chicago.
A participating advertiser in Cubs baseball is United. Chicago's hometown airline is proud to be the official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
Did you like Ray Stevens' last video?
Yeah, I did.
Well, here he comes again.
That burns
with a brand new video. Ray Stevens Live. 11 great songs, including Guitarzan, Ahab the Arab, Shriners Convention. I saw Elvis in a UFO.
Saw Elvis in a UFO.
Misty.
Look at me.
That musical funny man is loose again. This time live on stage for almost 1 full hour of new zany family entertainment. Here's how to order.
For rush delivery, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-637-1122 or send $19.98 plus $4.50 shipping to Ray Stevens Live, P.O. Box 7008, Department 7, Tarzana, California. Or call now 1-800-637-1122.
If you were to build what is perhaps the finest station wagon in the world, you'd make it luxurious, safe, and comfortable. Like the 1993 Buick Roadmaster Estate Wagon. You'd give it a V8 engine and driver airbag. Like Roadmaster, make it spacious enough for big surprises. Roadmaster Estate Wagon. Isn't it good to know that Buick still knows how to build a luxury wagon?
Alan Alda and Ann Margaret get a brand new lease on life and a whole new set of problems. Hey! In a new life.
Wednesday night at 7 on Channel 9.
Today's Russ Tough out of the game is brought to you by Russ Tough from Krylon. Kevin Roberson up and Otis Nixon on his horse in center field. He runs it down. This one would have tied up the ball game at the time. And that's the Krylon Tough out of the game.
Glenn Allen Hill's going to pinch hit for Dan Plesac.
Kent Merker on the mound for the Braves.
First pitch a little bit outside, ball one. Bill Pacoda now playing second base as they pull a double switch. After Bonds and McGee had driven in runs to make it 6-4, the Marlins of Florida leading. Del Strata hit another homer. He's driven in 6 of the 7 runs. And now Florida leads 7-4. He takes it high. Ball 3. Hill hit his first National League homer the other day. The pitch swung foul back. 3-2. Looking ahead. We'll have Pacoda leading off in the 9th. Then the top of their batting order. Strike called. He's ready for first base. And Barry Hill's throw beats him 1 out.
Jose Bautista is loosening up. He will come on to pitch the 9th inning as Randy Myers is not loosening up. So with the right-handers up, Pacoda, switch hitting Nixon, then right-handed Blauser and Gant, Jim Lefevre has gone to Bautista.
So Glenn Allen Hill struck out and had to be thrown out from Barry Hill to McGriff. Here's Grace. He homered in the 4th. Drew an intentional pass to fill the bases in the 7th. And that's when Derrick May hit Mike Stanton's first pitch for a grand salami. 4 big runs.
The fact that Kent Merker is working out of the bullpen might lead you to believe that Bobby Cox will go with 4 starting pitchers instead of the 5 he's been using, because Merker was the 5th starter.
Low. I imagine about time for Harvey to come in for the Marlins. Here's a pitch low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, the Braves and Giants have Monday the 30th off, and then the Giants come here for 3 big games against the Braves. So with the off day, Bobby Cox will go with 4 starting pitchers.
Ground ball. Foul. Grace homering off his favorite pitcher, John Smoltz. The 5th career home run he's hit off Smoltz. Sandberg had done likewise before that. Two pitch. They're in the 8th at Miami with the Marlins leading 7-4. He walked him. Grace is on. And here is Derrick May. He has had 2 out of 4 tonight. He has scored 2 runs and batted in 4. He's hit 10 home runs, as has Grace. Now he's driven in 75 runs to Grace's 73. Sosa leads the team with 76.
Him and Berryhill out to talk with Kent Merker, who's having trouble with the strike zone. Merker's had an in-and-out year, and barring any trades, Bobby Cox thinks that there's a good chance he'll be in the starting rotation next year, despite the fact that he's had only 3 starts this year. 2-1 record, 3.40 ERA, and that's pretty respectable as Steve Bedrosian starts getting up and throwing.
Two balls, no strikes.
And this is where the lefty advantage evens out, because Derrick May is going to get a fastball from Kent Merker, and Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach, coming out to have a word with him.
Well, he hit Mike Stanton's first pitch, and it too was a fastball.
Stanton tried to get it. He tried to get ahead, Harry, and he got behind in a hurry.
Here's the grand slam on the very first pitch by relief pitcher Mike Stanton. Derrick May hits a home run with the bases loaded. And from a 6-5 deficit, he puts the Cubs ahead 9-6. And that's where it is right now. 2 balls and a strike, 1 out, 1 on. Line drive, a double play. May lined to Pendleton, and Grace was doubled off first. We go in the bottom of the 9th. The Cubs lead 9-6.
Set sail for adventure with Sinbad. He's stronger than steel, faster than any horse. He's the only one who can save Princess Alina from the evil sorcerer.
You'll pay for this, you filthy rat.
Join Sinbad and his special friends, the mighty Viking, the powerful samurai, and handsome Prince Ali. Come along for adventure in a magic land. Sinbad of the 7 Seas.
Saturday afternoon at 1 on Channel 9.
Hey, what makes Ace America's place for paint?
We make our own.
It's premium quality.
Your satisfaction's guaranteed.
Right now, get Ace 7-Star, our best interior flat latex, for only $10.97 a gallon.
Hey, Ace is America's place for quality paint.
The Buick LeSabre, Family Circle Magazine's Domestic Family Car of the Year. LeSabre won by finishing first in important family categories like value, comfort, dealer satisfaction, performance, safety, style, and of course, dependability. Buick LeSabre, a welcome addition to the American family.
Here's the real beauty of Rust-Oleum protective coatings. A tough barrier against the elements. Rust-Oleum, the name that means protection.
Come along for adventure in a magic land. Set sail with Sinbad of the 7 Seas.
Saturday afternoon at 1 on Channel 9.
Harry Caray back in Atlanta. Here's a Buick game summary with the Cubs leading 9-6. The lefties in the Cub lineup have 5 out of 14 tonight against the pitching of right-hander John Smoltz. Freddie McGriff's errors set up Derrick May's grand slam. The home runs, Sandberg is 9th, Grace is 11th, Wilkins is 24th, May is 10th, McGriff is 31st, and Justice is 33rd. And Jose Batista comes in now for the save.
Jose's looking for save number 2, and he comes in to face Bill Pecota. Batista 5-2, a fine ERA of 2.32, on for the 49th time in an unfamiliar role as a stopper.
A little bit inside and low. The one thing he doesn't want to do is walk the first man. The crowd is alive. Strike call. Batista.
There's the last appearance against Montreal and this year against the Braves.
Going far, his second save. Randy Myers talking to Tony Muser. High pop foul out of play.
Dakota's had a very good year for the Braves off the bench, hitting .320.
2-2. Base hit left field. And that gets the crowd going.
And that'll also probably get Randy Myers going. Last thing you want to do is get down to the McGriff-Justice combination. And unless Batista retires 3 straight, he's going to face one, if not both, of those guys.
And here's Otis Nixon, who started the game with a single. Blauser then followed with a single. Gant drove in Nixon with a single, and McGriff hit a 3-run homer. That's how they built their 4-1 lead. Here's Nixon. Strike call, curveball or forkball. Now Buechele playing shallow in case of a bunt. Double play ball. Whoa, safe. Now he's out. First he hit both palms downward, and then he called them out. Or did he?
He came off the bag. He's safe. And rule of thumb is you've got to get one. And Batista rushed his throw. It turned out to be a very bad throw. Angel Hernandez said it pulled Sanchez off the bag, and we'll watch it again. A routine play. You've got to get one here. And Batista throws well wide of the bag, and Sanchez forced off the bag, and Pacoda is safe at second.
Now here comes Jim Lefebvre. Boy, Batista unfortunately made a bad throw. For a moment, after he called him safe, then his hand came up for some reason. I thought perhaps he had changed his ruling, but he had not.
Watch it one more time, and you've got to make sure of one. Well wide of the bag. You see the foot of Sanchez. He didn't drag it. He is safe, and it was a good call. And Randy Myers has some shoulder problems, and so Batista's the man they're looking for now to nail it down. And so that would mean that with Myers hurting, the left-hander they have left is McElroy to face McGriff and Justice.
All right, here's Blauser now. He's 2 out of 3. Line drive, but it may be caught. It is. Nice play by Sammy Sosa. Boy, oh boy, a sinking line drive. And Sammy came charging in to make the catch.
Fine play by Sammy Sosa, and he robs Jeff Blauser. And for the moment, Batista's dodged a bullet.
And it's going to be Jose Batista. All the way. Nobody warming up in the bullpen. Here now is Ron Gant. Cubs lead 9-6. Swung and he fouled it back. Oh, what a play by Sammy Sosa. Blauser hit a low, hard, sinking line drive. And Sammy came in to make the catch. One out, 2 on. outside. A ball and a strike. Coming up next, Fred McGriff.
We got the three big bombers right in a row with Gant, McGriff, and Justice.
Swung and he missed. And Batista with great stuff out there. He's got a good fork ball. Has a good fastball. Tense situation. Fouled it back. He didn't have much of a swing at that one. The foul tip kept him alive. Back to the screen. There's Bobby Cox, the manager of the Braves. High fly ball, don't worry about it. 2 men are gone. The producer director of Cubs baseball is Arnie Harris. The coordinating producer is Bill Barson. And our associate producer, Joe Cornell. All right, 2 out. 2 on. And Fred McGriff representing the tying run at the plate. Into the dirt, ball 1. He asked for a new baseball. The plate umpire, Ed Rapiano, throws him a new one. Strike over the outside corner. A ball and a strike. 2 out. 2 on. Cubs lead 9-6. A wild ball game. Swung and he missed. Actually foul tipped it. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little low. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on.
Well, that's a pretty good pitch, and I don't know how Freddie McGriff took it, but Jim Lefevre and Billy Connors thought it was strike 3.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Line drive, left field. Base hit, a run score. 9-7. And now David Justice comes up.
Braves are still alive as Bautista gets a fastball up and out over the plate. McGriff drives in his 4th, his 75th for the year. And now it's a 2-run game.
Here's David Justice. McGriff only average speed at first. He represents the tying run. Into the dirt, ball 1. Dakota has scored. Nixon's at second. McGriff at first.
And the outfield is just about as deep as you can get. They know they've got to cut off the ball in the gap. They can't afford the double. And Derrick May is almost on the warning track in left. Same with Sosa. Way back there.
Hold everything here. The Cubs won out from a victory. Swung and he missed. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, 2 on. 9-7 Cubs. Strike 2 over the outside corner. And boy, Batista keeping everything away from these power hitters. If they're going to hit a homer, he's trying to make them hit towards left field. Whoa, into the dirt. Good save by Rick Wilkins.
And that was a very big play by Rick Wilkins. If that one gets by, he put the tying run in scoring position at second base. As Wilkins takes a forkball, does a great job of stopping this from being a wild pitch.
Now ready? 2-2. Line drive right to Vizcaino. To end the ball game, and the Cubs win. Wow, he hit that ball on the nose right at Vizcaino, who grabbed it for the 3rd out. And the game is over, and the Cubs have won it. Final score, watch it again. The last play, hot shot right at Vizcaino to end the ball game. And so the Cubs have won the first game of the 3-game series by the score of 9-7. We'll be back in a moment.
Tonight on WGN News.
I'm Randy Salerno. The governor calls for a special session as the effort to open Chicago public schools on time continues. The story coming up on WGN News.
For the 3rd time this summer, the body of a young woman is pulled from a Cook County forest preserve. Michael Jackson's new show is full of fire and suggestive moves, and tonight, police at home are coming up empty in their sex abuse investigation.
Dr. King's dream is 30 years old tomorrow, but tonight, signs of a new revolution. These stories plus Bears and baseball coming up next.
Celebrate the Chicago Bulls' 3rd straight NBA championship with tremendous souvenir merchandise from the Chicago Tribune. The Bulls' historic 93 season comes to life in three-peat, a new full-color book from Tribune writers and photographers. Plus, pick up our one-of-a-kind T-shirt and poster featuring the Tribune's keepsake front page. To order, call 1-800-493-BULL or stop at any Chicago Tribune gift store location. That's 1-800-493-BULL. Order today.
Hey, mister, you want to play?
Yep.
Emma? I ain't getting that. He get his own ball. Mister, don't you got a football game to go to?
In this throwaway, disposable world, it's nice to find things that last. Relationships, neighborhoods, and the businesses in them. Like your neighborhood 76 station. For years, folks have relied on 76 for quality gasolines to help keep their engines clean and running smooth. Nothing lasts forever, but we think a long, long time would be nice. 76. Go with the spirit.
If you can dream it, the Rebel can do it. Now EOS Rebel from Canon has more power over time, space, and light. to create images, not just snapshots.
Image is everything.
EOS Rebel and Rebel S from Canon, so advanced it's simple.
United. The airline is uniting the world with thousands of flights to cities on 5 continents. Proudly unveils a plane no bigger than your hand. It comes with McDonald's Friendly Skies meals for kids. The food kids love. Because when you're big, you should always remember the little. United. Come fly the Friendly Skies.
The Budweiser playing tonight. The Cubs trail 6-5. Left-handed pitcher Mike Stanton pitching to Derrick May, who hits his first pitch for a grand salami, winning the ball game. As the final score, the Cubs 9, the Braves 7, the Budweiser play of the night. Our next telecast on Channel 9 will be Sunday afternoon between the Cubs and the Atlanta Braves. Our telecast Sunday will begin with a leadoff man at 11:30 a.m. Chicago time. Stay tuned now for the WGN News. The final score again, the Cubs have beaten the Braves 9-7. Harry Caray from Atlanta. So long, everybody.